Hi there, welcome to Joshi'ing Around Weekly, a podcast in which we will discuss the most important shows, the best matches and the hottest topics in Japanese women's pro wrestling on a weekly basis. I'm Tim.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome to the show. Hello, everyone, to the very first episode of Joshi'ing Around Weekly. I'm very happy to start this project, this evolution of Joshi'ing Around with my lovely co-host Eric.
Hello.
Hi, Eric.
Nice to see you again, Tim. Or hear you from you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that, we get a weekly format to talk about all of the wonderful things that are happening, because, you might not hear it elsewhere, and there are a lot of lovely things happening, and no one knows about it, so we should scream about it from the rooftops.
That's very true. Eric here is also writing for the Social Suplex newsletter. He's doing the insanely long Japanese indies section. If you've ever read the newsletter, you know what I mean. So he's pretty much the best possible co-host I could find, because he watches everything down to the smallest ice ribbon dojo shows that nobody else watches, I'm pretty sure. So
those are some good shows though, Tim. They are really good shows.
I believe you, yeah. It's just the availability is not quite there for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pay £9 a month for a few shows every month, so yeah, definitely accessibility issues.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, you can definitely we can have deep dives into the smallest promotions. That's kind of exciting. And in general, you've already heard Eric on the 9th episode of Joshi'ing Around, which was the Chagi Yokota Linus Asuka episode, which I liked a lot. And yeah, should we just get into it?
Yeah, just a bit of background as well.
Sure.
What sort of backgrounds we have, maybe like what people should expect from the podcast. I think it's a bit weird in the sense that, as Tim says, I watch a lot of wrestling, but I don't actually have a lot of historical context for things, because I started seriously within like the last year or two. So like if you're looking for like a historical deep dive from me, or like juxtaposing today's scene with the Crush Cows or something, it might not be the correct place, or maybe Tim will do that. But maybe. There's a reason I'm not on the weekly version of this podcast, and that's so it's a place that you can hear about pretty much, as Tim said, every recognizable Joshi promotion. And if you don't hear about one of the companies on one episode, it will come up at some point on another episode. The episodes will take far too long if we go through every single promotion every single week. But yeah, that's what I'm here for. So maybe not the historical stuff, but maybe Tim can help me out on that one.
Yeah, we're kind of similar in that way, because I'm not like I haven't been a Joshi fan for the longest time either. I pretty much started only in 2021. I may have like accumulated more like historical knowledge in that time than you were able to in the last like 1 year, because it's already been like 4 years then. 5 years? Yeah. 5 years actually. No, 4 years. I'm stupid. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be much of a problem. Like if we need like historical context for any weekly happenings, I think we're gonna figure it out. Otherwise, the goal of this podcast is mostly to discuss the current happenings and not so much any historical deep dives. I thought maybe I thought maybe we could, if we're running out of topics, or if it's a slow week, we could also always do like a classic Joshi'ing Around segment where you watch something older or something else that didn't happen this week and discuss that. So we keep the spirit of the original format alive. And by the way, I should mention the original format won't die. I have a couple of guests lined up, so you can look out for those. But this weekly show is just an additional bonus, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it also helps that maybe that I don't have that historical context, because I'm sort of showing how easy it is to get into some of these promotions, and maybe if you were scared about getting into something, I can tell you how to get into it, and it's not as bad as it looks. It's 2025. You can pretty much watch everything on the internet nowadays. So if I can do it, anyone can.
Right. And while we're at it, we could just run down our topic sheet for today. Because we got a lot of like little primers for some promotions where Eric is gonna tell you about those promotions later. So we have a little introduction for everyone who doesn't know anything about them. And so yeah, whenever we might cover them in the future, it's good to introduce our audience to them first, I guess. But yeah, first we're gonna get to the big Stardom showdown, Stardom to the World, which happened on September 6th, last Saturday. That's gonna be our main topic, I guess, of the first half of the podcast at least. We're then gonna go a bit over the TJPW Princess Cup. Is it called Princess Cup actually?
Yeah, Tokyo Princess Cup.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the Tokyo Joshi Pro Tokyo Princess Cup. Not entirely. We just decided to cover 2 matches, mostly, that we both liked a lot, and we thought didn't get enough discussion elsewhere. So we wanted to talk about those real quick. After that, we're gonna get into the Marigold Dreamstar Grand Prix. Eric is mostly gonna go over the standings. I'm not too up to date on my Marigold, to be honest. I've mostly skipped Marigold the past year, but I've watched some of the matches over the weekend, so I'm gonna be able to give my opinion on some stuff. Yeah, but the Dreamstar Grand Prix is about to finish, I guess. You said on September 10th about that, right?
14th, so 14th. This Sunday is the finals.
Okay, so we're gonna give you a preview for the finals as well, and what the current standings are and everything like that. After that, we're gonna discuss the Sendai Girls, the biggest show, which at this point also happened not this week, but like almost 3 weeks ago at this point. Huh?
Yeah, we're doing a bit of a catch up because of the first episode.
Right. And yeah, because it's a newsworthy show too, I guess. To some extent, at least, we just decided to talk about it. After that, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to watch the Oz Academy show, but I have a couple of questions for you. I guess maybe you could talk about it a bit.
Yep, I did watch that last night, so all ready for that.
Oh, that's great. And then we got our little primer section where Eric is gonna take the lead for sure, and it's gonna give you a primer on Marvelous, on SEAdLINNG, on Ice Ribbon, and on Diana. I'm sure we will have like more primers maybe on future shows for other promotions.
We'll rotate the promotions.
Yeah, right. These are the 4 ones we chose for today. And after that, we got a little segment where we will discuss each of our match of the weeks. Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's get into Stardom then. Before we do Stardom, before we do the big show from the weekend, Stardom to the World, I was thinking, since before the show started, or I guess after the dark match it was, Stardom had a little awards ceremony for the 5-star Grand Prix. And I thought we might just as well discuss these awards a bit, and I'm gonna like read the awards that were given out by Stardom, and then we're just gonna like give our own opinions, who we would have voted for, who we would have awarded this award. And yeah, I thought that was gonna be fun, so let's do this first.
Let's do it.
All right, awesome. Okay, yeah. So the awards went to, I mean, the winner of the 5-star was obviously Momo. Watanabe. The runner-up was Azumi. The next award that was given was the Most Outstanding Performance Award, which was given to Suzu Suzuki by STARDOM. What's your opinion on that one, Eric?
So if we're... Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested in why they picked Suzu. I didn't actually see any of the explanations or if it's fan voted or I don't know what the reason is, but I think we're defining it as basically the most sort of like wow or breathtaking or like moment creating person, I guess, in a way, like sort of like a semi pseudo MVP. So for that, I'm picking Suri, obviously. If you listen to this podcast many weeks in the future, you'll pick up that I'm a huge Suri fan. So it's no surprise. I think she kind of lit up the tournament with her character. And you don't need me to tell you, it's all over Japanese media. It's in almost every single Shu Pro issue talking about the Suri Buin phenomenon. So literally everywhere you read, you'll see Suri. Even Saya did an interview today with Masahiro Tono.
I haven't watched it.
2000.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a really funny interview because Saya's like so nervous, and she like asks him, so people have been saying I'm a fake heel because I'm different outside of the ring and inside of the ring. And Chono was like, it's completely fine to do that. You're trying to bring in new audiences. And Saya was almost in tears because she like felt validated that Chono was telling her, and he was like saying some stories from back in the day when he would laugh at things out of character and stuff like that. But all of this is because of what Suri has done. She started that narrative with Saya as well. So yeah, just literally amazing character work as well as really good matches, obviously.
Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, we are completely the same wavelength here. I think like the awards are like completely kayfabe as far as I know.
That makes sense, yeah.
They have some end of the year awards that are more like voted by the audience, I think, but these one are just given out. And I think they're like usually they're just giving them so like the most amount of people get some, I guess. I'm going through these awards here, and Suzu doesn't have any for like any match or any other award.
Yeah.
So that's probably the reason why they chose her for this award, just so she gets an award as well. That's usually how this goes. It's interesting because they gave 2 awards to Rina, and she also has a 3rd award from a match. So
well, she has 4 awards. I don't know if you saw her carrying around 4 trophies. It was kind of funny.
All right, she has 2 matches. She has 2 best matches. She has so that's a bit out of the ordinary for these awards. That Rina gets 4 of them, but hey, she deserves it, I guess. But yeah, for the most outstanding performance award, I'm also going with Suri. So you also have the fighting spirit and the technical skill award that we're gonna get to later. And for me, those are more like the in-ring awards, I guess. And the most outstanding performance is for me like the just the overall, the overall performance, I guess. And I think Sari by far did like the most outstanding, like what do you say, like complete performance throughout the complete package performance for the 5-star, with her entire heel work going into the 5-star, going into Stardom like even months ago, starting it, and the way she managed to generate heat and make every single match she's in like especially interesting. That's for me the most outstanding performance award. For
Can I throw the first grenade of our podcast and throw you a question?
Yeah.
So Saya, this tournament. So everyone's got her down as the MVP of Stardom. I'm probably going to vote for her at the end of the year. Well, I don't know if I am. I'm probably going to vote for Suri, but others will. She had kind of a understated 5-star. I felt like she was like completely eclipsed by the whole Suri thing. She was in the openers for a lot of shows. I don't know. What your thoughts on that? Was she just taking a back seat to let Suri's character develop? Because just quickly, I think one thing that they are definitely doing, Okada has given interviews to Taro Okada, president, has given interviews to Shu Pro about Suri. Like, he's obviously trying to build something. He's saying, we need someone to take Suri down because Suri is running Stardom down. She's talking bad about it. So we need someone to stand up to her. So they're building up an opponent for her. I don't know if that's Saya and if she was just saying, okay, so Suri, you get your heat or whatever. So what do you think?
So to the first part of your question, I think Saya had by far the least, I guess, to work with in her block.
True. Yep.
She had the most uphill battle, I guess, to get like the most outstanding matches or anything. If you look at her block, it's really only like Mei Sarah and maybe Hanan for like really good workers.
Yep.
And I think her opening some block nights was always with the purpose. Like in hindsight, I don't really know if it was on purpose. Like the noticeable thing at first was that she always opened the night and Natsupoi closed the night.
Yeah, people thought that was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard to make it not a thing because it was so obvious. But like in hindsight, since Natsupoi didn't really go very far in the tournament, maybe that was like a red herring. I'm not sure. Otherwise, it's maybe just the old trope that the second best card in the spot is the opener. I guess. What was the other part of your question? Oh yeah, right. Saya Vestari. I think in the long run they're building to this year. I think that's gonna be whenever they are gonna have their next super huge show they want to do. Like I think for the Ryogoku Kokugi Kan show in December, it's not gonna be that one. Maybe for next All-Star Grand Queendom, or maybe if they ever really decide to try a Tokyo Dome show, that's probably when something like this is gonna happen, but not before then. I think honestly the next I think the Dream Queendom show is most probably gonna be the Saya Momo match, if I had to guess.
Please, I want to be there.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. And Sari is like for further into the future, maybe. That would be my guess at least. So I do agree though that this is like the end goal of the current like Sari in Stardom.
It has to have some payoff, right? So
yeah, for sure. And I don't think it was an accident that Sari booked Saya for her last Sariism show.
No,
either.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So yeah. So where were we? Oh, right.
Fighting Spirit Award.
Fighting
or technical, which one?
Yeah, either one. Fighting Spirit Award. The official Stardom Award went to Rina. Maybe I go first this time because there's not really much to say for me. I also go with Rina. I don't really 100% know what exactly they mean with Fighting Spirit Award. I think it's just an award to give an award, to be honest. But to me, like my justification would be that looking at Rina's block, the Red Stars B block, is just an insanely stacked block with Azumi, Starlight Kid, Natsupoi, Tomoka Inaba, Natsuko Tora. These are all 5 of them that I just named could potentially be seen as like above Rina in the pecking order right now, and yet Rina made it into the semifinals, which is crazy big. Is a crazy big accomplishment for her at her stage, at the stage of her career, and that's why I think she deserves the Fighting Spirit Award, because like fighting through this block, getting out of the block, and getting into the semifinals is crazy for her. Yeah, that's why I agree with Stardom and give her the Fighting Spirit Award as well.
Yeah, I went a bit more inside baseball with this and decided to just give it to my favorite mid-carder, Saya Aida, who's just, I think she was in a toss. She lost a lot of matches because she was in kind of a, the stacked block almost, in Blue Stars A with like Saori, Bazilla, I believe was there, and Ami Sori, right? So she was in a stacked block. She had to eat a lot of pins, and she tried to put people over as much as possible. I remember, was she against Miyu Amasaki in Kyoto? Or did I make that up? I think so, in our hometown of Kyoto. But yeah, she gave people a lot. So yeah, shout out to Saida.
I totally agree with you though. Like in general, her like performances were always. She always gave it everything. She always gave 100% in every
I've never
match.
seen her have a bad match ever.
That's true. Yeah, she always gives it all, and she was amazing in this tournament. It's very true. Yeah, that's a good shout for sure. The next award was the technical skill award, right? Yeah. Where did you go with that one?
So for just defining this as purely in ring, because we've kind of done our pseudo MVP with most outstanding, then I gave this to well, it was between Azumi or Rina, to be honest. And I think I just handed it to Rina just because it was. I really appreciate Rina. She came back from kind of like a pretty bad concussion that she sustained, and then I remember she did an interview and she was like, yeah, I don't remember anything after it happened, but I'm coming back at the 5-star. And I was like, okay, that's a bit scary. And then she just went literally full speed, because one of her statements also was, it's scary getting a concussion off because it was a normal diving crossbody from MMA Shima, and she was like, it's scary when it can happen off a normal move. She said that. So I was like, okay, is she going to be wrestling kind of timid or shy? Nope, she just went balls to the wall, and she just had one of the best tournaments. So I gave that to her over Azumi just because of that factor.
Nah, that's totally fair. Yeah, Rina deserves an award for this tournament for sure. She's like, if I think they should introduce like the breakout performance or something for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what I would call her tournament, is like the breakout performance of the entire roster, and maybe of the entire year of any roster. I don't know. I'm going with Tomoka Inaba for the technical skill award.
Good choice.
Mainly, yeah. I think she had an outstanding tournament as well. I think she also had like some breakout performances. I've always been a fan of her, to be fair. Like ever since she first came in. I remember like when was that? There was a Takataichi Despe Mania show in 2021 or 2022 where she had this insanely good match with Suzu Suzuki. I've been a big Tomoka supporter, big Tomoka fan ever since. Basically, she's kind of had a little bit more subdued of a run lately in STARDOM, which is why she didn't have much hype behind her. But I think what she showed, like especially in the first half of the tournament, got her back on the radar of a lot of people. I think a lot of people even said that Azusa had lapped her. I never quite agreed with that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
And I don't think so. I think Azusa shows a little bit more charisma, maybe. She has that little bratty, this Serena type charisma.
She's also like 7-8 years younger, so that's probably why people are saying she's lapping her. But I think she's going to lap her, but I don't think she has yet.
No, she's 2 years younger, I guess. I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh wait, how young is Tomoka Inaba? Do
I
think she's older than she is?
No, yeah, I think you do. She's like 20 now. I think Azusa turns
23,
18 soon.
Okay.
Oh, is she 23?
Yeah, Tomoka's 23 and Azusa's, I'm guessing, 17. Let me see.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
17,
I got it
6
wrong
years.
then. Wait, I always thought she was 2 years older. Am I? Damn. Wow, I always had that wrong. Okay. I guess she's 6 years
so
older.
I think she can overtake her, but I don't think she's there yet.
Yeah, same. So, yeah, I just thought she had some tremendous matches early on. I thought, like, I'm gonna get to this later probably, but one of my favorite matches of the tournament was the Starlight Kid match in the opening night. It's probably in my top 3 of the entire tournament, and I thought she had the following couple of nights. She had always really outstanding performances, so she gets my technical skill award for sure.
Cool. Should we do best bouts?
Yeah, let's do best bouts. I think for the final tournament one, it's not really that big of a what's it called?
Shock.
It's not that big of a shock or that big of an argument to be made. It's Azumi vs Rina for the official one that STARDOM gave out. I don't think I have anything to argue with that. I think Azumi vs Rina is a low-key match of the year contender from that show. So yeah, it's just a phenomenal match. It was awesome.
It was my match of the tournament, and I have it as a low-level match of the year contender.
Excellent. So let's go through the blocks. Where do we start? Blue A, maybe?
Okay, Blue A. I had Saori Anu versus Saya Aida. So that's the one where they chop the shit out of each other.
That was also on the opening night, and I also got the same one. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy good. It was so much fun. The chopping match. Yeah, right. Blue B. What's your Blue B? What was the official STARDOM match? The STARDOM match was for Blue A was Soriano was Basila. Yeah, that's probably a run up for me as well. It was also a really fun match. So Blue B. The official one was Sari vs Konami. What's yours?
I went with Suri Suzu. I think that match, I don't know. I always say, like, when you're watching a wrestling match, you do have to be in a particular mood to sort of receive it. And that, like, the mood you're in can definitely alter your perception of how good a match was. And I don't know if a lot of people think about it that way, but yeah, it's like reading a book. You know, if you're not in the mood, then, you know, it kind of hits different. This match hit perfectly. I don't know what mood I was in, but I thought all 15 minutes were awesome. I really liked the crowd as well. I actually think this match was better than the one on the pay-per-view, but we could talk about that. But the crowd is a big part of that. They loved Suzu, and while they weren't like booing the crap out of Suri, the fact they loved Suzu like helped me get into that match a lot. So yeah, I had Suri and Suzu, and I thought it was one of my favorite matches of the tournament. I think I had it like third or something overall.
All right, I think we have like some differing opinions then later. Maybe that's also like what you said, being in a mood. That was the case. Maybe that wasn't as much the case for me watching Suzu and Suri. I loved the match, but I didn't quite like. I saw a lot of people immediately name it match of the tournament. I wasn't really there for that, honestly.
I was one of those people.
I was in the mood for Suri vs Konami though on the opening night. I just realized I have 3 matches from the opening night in my.
It was a pretty good show, right?
Yeah. I said so as well in my social suplex newsletter.
Yeah, did you hear about Dave Meltzer's opinion on it? Because he surely watched it, right?
Nope. There's none. Okay. Right. Yeah, I like Suri was Konami just blew me away in the opening night. Just the atmosphere, like the entire thing. It just yeah. It just kind of steamrolled me, and I was just blown away by everything. I thought it was perfect front to back with the big upset win for Konami. It was such a perfectly crafted match, and an unforgettable atmosphere for me. So it's probably like just like Kid and Inaba. It's very high on my match of the tournament list. If it's not actually my match of the tournament, yeah. I mean, Azumi Rina is probably my match of the tournament. Now that I think about it, but yeah, Sariba's Konami is incredible to me. Right, we have 1 block left, I think. Right? No,
2. Red
Stars. Red Stars entirely. Red Stars A. The official award went to Mei Seira versus Saya Kamitani. I think I agree with that. Yes, I do. I gotta be honest. From Red A, I have the least amount of like really memories in the front of my mind. I have the least amount of like impressions that I took away from Red A. Like I said earlier, it was like Saya. It was the least stacked block to me. But I remember really liking Saya with Sarah, and they're by far the best workers in the block to me. So that's not really a surprise. So yeah, just give it to that.
Well, you did hesitate when you said that. Can I not interest you in some Hanan stocks? No, I thought Hanan Mei Seira was pretty good. That was my match with Red Stars A. I guess I just really like 15-minute draws. I don't know. And also, I'm one of those weird people that thinks Mei Seira is like literally one of the best wrestlers in the world. So I think Velke hates her. I don't know why. Everything she does looks incredible. I have her on the same level as Azumi, and I pretty much love every match of theirs. And I thought Hanan really brought it in that match. So
yeah, I think Velke has this thing. Love you, Velke, if you're listening. Nothing against that, but he has this kind of different way of thinking about like his favorite wrestlers. and he
It's
always
like kayfabe almost.
he has them in like groups with other wrestlers, and he picks one out of the group, and
Yeah,
he hates the other ones in the group, so,
Yeah.
or dislike, or just can't really do anything with them, I guess, and that's not the way I look at wrestlers. So I can't really understand not liking May Sarah. I think she's absolutely incredible, yeah. But I guess of that group of wrestlers she came up with, YK chose another one. No, but I totally agree with. I think I'm. What I wanted to say is that I'm also not a Hanan hater. Like, there's a lot of Hanan haters out there now.
No, I'm not. Well, I probably was originally well, I didn't understand like the push she was getting. I think when she had that white belt match with Sariano, I was like, I wasn't really into it. And for the longest time, her like forearms were really putting me off. But I've sort of like grown into it, and now I just think she's pretty good. But I still don't think she's like next ace level. But that doesn't mean I hate her, right?
No, I agree. I think she's getting lapped by her sister slowly. Like she's still
Absolutely.
in front of Hina for me, but like Rina has shot past her somehow.
4 laps.
Yeah, I think she gets a lot of hate for her like incredibly annoying entrance theme.
I like it. Am I the only one that likes it?
I think you are.
Wish you happy go sunshine days. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, yeah. You're alone on that, I think. But I always liked watching her like in the ring, and I think she has a she has a fun aura, like just a feel good, happy, smiley baby face.
She does
aura.
fit Stars
I like
vibes,
that.
doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I hope she's yeah. I don't know. I hope she's getting there in where they want her to be. Clearly, they have like big plans for her, like being the leader of Stars now and all that. And I really liked her tag team run with Ida.
She was so good. Yeah.
Right, that was very good, and I think she's getting a bit overhated, I guess. What do you say?
No, I agree.
Too much hate.
Yeah.
I like her channel.
I'm not someone that wants to see her strongly push, but even I think she's good as the leader of Stars. I think that's like a good fit.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so our last block would be, in my opinion, the best block, I guess, with Red B. The official award went to Natsuko Tora vs. Rina. I remember that match. I didn't think it was best of the block.
I think they just wanted to give Rina another trophy.
Probably. Like, if they wanted to give Tora a trophy, I would have 100% given it to her match with Kurara.
Yep, or Starlight Kid.
Yeah. Yeah, or Starlight Kid. But they decided to go with this one. I think this wasn't even the best match on that show of that block. So I think that was on the same show that the Sumi Starlight Kid match was on. So yeah, what was your choice there?
I went with Izumi and Rina Korakuen Hall, the first one, so not the semi-final. Yeah, I thought that match was just awesome. So,
right. I probably foreshadowed that earlier when I said I had 3 from the opening night. My choice goes to Inaba vs Starlight Kid. Which one was yours? Sorry.
Izumi and Rina. I had them at the same
Izumi and
level.
Rina. Right.
But,
oh yeah, right. Sorry, I thought I misunderstood. No, I'm going with Inaba and Starlight Kid. I thought it was just
that's a fair choice. I can't argue against that.
Yeah. I liked parts of that match better than the Saturday match, quite like you did with like Suzu and Sari.
We'll get to that, but also the same. I also liked the 5-star match more than the one.
Yeah, I ended up. I mean, we're gonna get into it like quite literally after this, but yeah, I like if you gave like first half, second half, I like the first half of the 5-star match better. I thought the finishing stretch was maybe stronger but I like the finish better of the 5-star match too. That's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to tell. They're on the same level to me, I guess, all in all. So now that we got the awards done, we can go right into the pay-per-view, I guess. It took place on last Saturday, the September the 6th. It took place in the Yokohama Budokan. The attendance was 1814, which is, I guess, a nice little attendance. I heard it's like the second or third best attendance in the venue.
It's the biggest attendance ever in the building, except the 5-star finals in 2023, which has 2,507. So they're second best ever.
Right, second best ever, which is good.
It's also up from 1,200 on the last 5-star show on the 16th of August. It's up from 1,037, which was a Cinderella opener. The opening 5-star last year was 1,587, so it's up 300 on that. Flashing Champions 2024, which was Sariano and Amisori white belt, that had 927, so it's double from that. Yeah.
I was in there on my Japan trip in 2023. There was like the Triangle Derby was in there, I think, pretty sure. And I think that only had like 1,000 too. There weren't.
Yeah.
But it's not that big either. It's kind of a weird venue. I didn't like it as much as other venues I've been to in Japan. But anyway, so you said you had some overarching thoughts. Do you just want to go?
Yeah, I think the first thing I felt was this card was pretty huge, right? That's not just me. Or did you?
Yeah, it was a
yeah. So I don't know if it's always been like this. I haven't actually gone back to check like other pay-per-view cards, but this was the show where I realized that Stardom had been doing like AEW length cards, trying to get everyone on the roster on the show. Like, was there anyone on the roster that wasn't on this show? I don't think so.
I can't really think of anyone now.
Yeah, so they're trying to get everyone on the show, which leads to these huge cards, which is, it's completely fine with me, but it does make some of the matches on the card a bit meaningless. So like even in AEW, right, where it's like their main complaint, like a lot of the matches are meaningful. It's just there's too much of them, right? Or there's a lot of them. It's not too much for me, but some people argue it's too much. But here, a lot of them are just sort of like house showy preview tags. Even the Korakuen Hall show that's coming up tomorrow, which I guess we'll talk about later, has 9 matches on it. So they're just in a phase of let's get everyone on these cards. So it kind of means I had like very few thoughts on the undercard.
No, I think we can skip over most of the undercard. I agree. I think it's understandable from their perspective because they gotta get everyone reps on the roster. They gotta give all their rookies every rep they can get to get them up to speed to fill out these spots that have opened up over the last couple of years with all the talent leaving. And I agree. Like usually that's always the astonishing thing about like some Stardom cards is always after you're done, you look at like the streaming file and it's like 5 hours. And it's always like, that was a 5-hour show. And
exactly.
I think Stardom has such a good pace in their matches itself that it never feels as long. I don't know. Yep. I wouldn't say like AEW has necessarily worse matches quality wise or anything, but AEW shows tend to start dragging after a while for some reason. And with Stardom shows, I never quite have the feeling that they drag as much. It's also probably due to the time zones, I guess. Whenever I watch, like obviously when I watch AEW live, it's at 2 a.m. until like 6 a.m. or whatever. That's always gonna drag compared to like a show that starts at 10 a.m. in the morning and I can just watch it until like midday or afternoon. That's a way better time to watch a show.
Also, I'm an AEW fan, but second match on the card was for a recent pay-per-view. I can't remember which one, but it was like a 20-minute FTR match, which I loved, but it was second on the card. And it's like, with Stardom undercards, they're like, 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes? Like, you can probably not pay attention. So it's kind of easier to watch the shows when you don't have to pay attention to every single detail as well. They're just like fun house show matches.
I think one thing that Stardom also does too, that I think is a good practice for these long shows, is just the intermission before the business end starts.
Give me intermissions in American shows, please.
Absolutely, it's just a nice breakup, and like at some point you need a break, and you can't always have like your toilet break match. You can't always have like the Adam Copeland match in the perfect spot.
So they do give intermissions. They just put Edge on the card, right?
Yeah, but they put him in the opener.
That's true.
Fuck's
He
sake.
was in the opener. That was sad. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But in general, I agree. It was a very long card. I think I don't have much to say about many of the undercard tags, and I think we can just skip those two. I don't think anyone loses anything from not hearing our opinions or drawn out opinions at least. I didn't watch the dark match at all. I don't know if you did, but sorry.
No, I was going to say I could probably speedrun some takes of some of the lower cards, but we don't need to go like move by move. But
yeah, exactly.
But I got like maybe one comment on maybe each of the matches if you don't.
Yeah, I got. Did you have anything on the dark match? That's just. Or do you want to start? Let's start from beginning to end, right? Or do you want to start with the?
Yeah, no, we can do that. Was that the three-way?
That was the freeway. Rian defeats actually. I heard she pinned Fukigen. And Akira was also in the match, so...
Yeah, I think this match was just the vehicle for putting over Rian's Hanaguruma pin, which I think it means, like, flower cartwheel. So it's like, it's almost like she's... Yeah, it's like, she's, like, setting up a code red, but she instead, like, flips into a cradle, something like that.
It's like a sideways code red. It looks really weird. Yes. It's maybe looks too convoluted, but it's cool.
Yeah, so I think it's what she used to win her first singles match in Korakuen Hall against Akira Kurigane. So she used it here on Fukigen Dev. So this match was, hey, look at Rian's pin. She's going to win more matches with this. So
yeah, that's cool. Rian, the reckless twerp, unstoppable Rian. Her Goldberg streak hasn't quite started yet, but it's gonna come for sure.
One day.
Next we got the concussion rematch between Rina and
the concussion rematch.
I like that name. Yeah, it was kind of an important match in that way. I thought like Rina suffered that unfortunate concussion like 3 weeks before the 5-star against Emma on a New Blood show. Was that a singles match also? Or was it
tag? Was a singles match, yeah.
Okay. And this was basically, a revision from that match. I guess Rina had to get her win back. No, but honestly, I have like by far the most opinions, I think, or the biggest opinion, I think, from the undercard on this match, because I kind of loved it. I think Rina is just so good now. It's crazy on every match. Mm-hmm. I thought it was noticeable how much she gave to Emma, though. Even though Rina is like this on the huge streak and had these incredible performances in the 5-star, she still gave Emma a couple of really close near falls and really big spots. She didn't give Emma like any concussion receipts or anything like that, so that's cool.
No, and they did repeat the spot. I don't know if they repeated the exact same spot, which is Emma landing, and she landed high again on the crossbody. Oh my god! And Rina didn't move for like a few seconds. I was like, oh no! But then that was just me getting worked by Rina. So
yeah, absolutely. I just wrote she made it look closer than she needed because
it had good niffles. I was going to ask your opinion on Emma because like others in her class have like sort of like miraculously found themselves so quickly, which is kind of odd for rookies like Kikyo, Akira, and so it kind of makes Emma's maybe lack of character stand out a bit. That she hasn't really found herself compared to Kikyo. But in normal promotions, I think she's probably on a normal progression curve. Absolutely. I think her in-ring is probably one of the better out of her class. And obviously, Ann Kanaya and Matoe Hamabi are still out, but I don't think she's that far behind that everyone thinks she is. I don't know what you think.
No, me neither. The interesting thing to me about her is that I thought her debut match, she debuted versus Azumi. And the next match, Kikyo, she debuted on the same night as Kikyo, right? Kikyo debuted in the next match against Hanan. It was on a Korakuen show, and
Yep.
I liked her debut match better than I liked Kikyo's debut.
Same.
But then, for some reason, Kikyo just immediately like shot past her for some reason. I don't know what it is. I think Kikyo
I
has
think it's
like
a character thing though.
yeah, Kikyo has a special kind of like confidence, I think, and
Yes,
and
yeah.
like has her character just figured out more and more palpable like charisma, I guess, that Emma is still lacking. But like just in the ring and by the work itself, I think Emma is perfectly fine. Especially, I mean, she's really good for her stage and for her experience level. I think Emma is totally okay. It's just that Kikyo, for some reason, immediately got really good, especially for her experience level. So Emma was kind of left in the mud. And I think if you read some opinions on the internet, it's also always like highly exaggerated, I think, about like stuff like that. So I have no worries at all about Emma, honestly.
Yep, agreed.
Right. Anything else on the match?
Nah, we should blast through this undercard.
All right. So the next is Waka Tsukiyama and Hanako versus Aya and Kikyo. Aya Sakura and Kikyo Furusawa. And Furusawa. I always say that wrong. Kikyo Furusawa. Anyway, I don't really have anything. I thought the Hanako versus Aya stretch was good, and I thought it was kind of weird that Aya was eating the pin here and not Kikyo. But other than that, I got no real notes.
The only note I had was, we were just talking about Emma. I remember like a year ago, Isakura and Kurara were fighting each other for, who would join Cosmic Angels, and they were wearing like frilly baby pink dresses. And now, like a year later, Sakura's given off like shooter vibes. So like a lot can happen in a year, and people like Emma just need some time. So that's all I got.
Right. I think thinking about it now that like I wrote here that Aya eating the pin is weird. She also just lost her title in Sendai Girls, right?
Yeah, yep, she did.
Maybe they're trying to do something here with her, like a lot of people are speculating that Aya is gonna leave Cosmic Angels or something.
People have been thinking that for like a year though.
Yeah, but that she's maybe gonna be like frustrated about Kurara having a bigger spot or whatever. Maybe they're building to that with a losing streak or something. Maybe that's why she ate the pin here. But
yeah, because normally they'd make the rookie eat the pin, right? So yeah probably.
Sure. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Next was a little skit about their Golden Dream show. I don't know. I don't know if you have to talk about it. I just noted down that Natsupoi for some reason was in a wedding dress in the teaser, which was kind of weird. But have you watched any of that? I think
I have not.
There's already been like episodes out, but I haven't either. Got the chance to check anything out. Okay. The next match was Dark Silhouetta and Mei Sarah defeating the Cosmic Angels team of Sayaka Kurara and Yuna Mitsumori. What were your thoughts on this match?
Well, Silhouette is just doing a tour of the Indies, so she's wrestling in Diana and Wave as well. So, so yeah, I guess this was just because she's also facing Mei on for the CMLL Japan's title on Korakuen show tomorrow. Well, Wednesday, whenever you listen to this, 10th of September. So yeah, I think this was just a preview. I thought it was a good match. The checkmate finisher is awesome. So
okay. Yeah, I haven't been quite impressed yet by Dark Silhouette, to be honest, but
I don't think there's anything to be impressed by.
Okay. Yeah, the only real this didn't do much for me. I thought like the Tokimeki Spear into Superman pin was a really cool like combination finisher between like Yuna and Sayaka, which should have gotten a win but didn't. So May's finish looked insane here, I wrote down, but other than that I didn't have any notes, so let's just continue, I guess. Oh yeah, one thing I thought was interesting, because they're building like the May versus Yuna high speed match. That's finally gonna be on the
Yeah,
card. 'Cause they've been building this for like 3 months or something. They've been building this forever. It's like the
Yuna
most.
pinned May on the 5-star on 3rd of August.
All right,
so
yeah.
that was the first time she pinned her. So
Yeah.
I think they've just been building it during
But
that.
she's been cutting promos on her like for the last for forever. It seems like, it feels like.
Yeah.
This must be like the most built high speed match in a while.
Yeah, Brian Alvarez would not be happy with this build.
Not really. And again, like May got the pin here, which was kind of weird. Like, are they gonna? It's kind of a weird build. Anyway, next match. Next match was Hate. The Hate Trios team of Azusa Inaba, Konami, and Momo defeating Mi Vida Loca, which was Bozilla, Itsuki Aoki, and Rina Yamashita in 10 minutes. I thought the interesting thing about this match to me was that like Hate is getting like the full babyface treatment now, kind of from the crowd a lot.
Yeah,
because
so
Mi Vida
just
Loca
turned the more babyface.
yeah, kind of. Mi Vida Loca with the clear heels in this one, and that was the interesting thing. There was like Azusa vs Bozilla was a very funny matchup. I thought, like, just the biggest mismatch you can have. And there was also a brutal baseball bat shot on Naoki, which must have sucked. Like her baseball bat is like the fakest thing ever, right? It's like the lightest plastic baseball bat. But the way she hit Aoki in the face here with the baseball bat, that must suck with anything.
It must still
like
hurt if you're going full speed.
For sure. Yeah. I also noted that I was kind of mostly looking forward to the post match here. I was interested to see if they're gonna like tease anything here, if they're gonna do anything with Momo and Hate, if Hate is gonna turn on Momo at any point or something like that, because if Momo goes against Saya soon, I don't know how they're gonna play that out. So, but nothing happened. No one turned on Momo.
I think it's going to be a slower build.
Yeah, but they didn't even tease anything. It was just, we're all the best friends still. So I don't know.
They still got 3 months.
Yeah. Well, what were your thoughts on this one?
I was really mad during this match because Rina Yamashita spoiled me. So she was coming out for her entrance. And then, she was bending her head down, so her hair was blocked. She had a belt around her neck, but I couldn't really see the belt. And I was like, I don't remember Yamashita having a belt. I wonder which company that is. And then she lifts her head up, revealing the belt, and it's the fucking Choco Pro belt, which hadn't aired yet. It still hasn't aired because they're on a 1 week delay. I was like, she beat fucking Mei Suruga. I cannot believe I got spoiled on the Stardom show by Rina herself. So I was pretty mad for like a couple of minutes. I was probably the only mad person watching this. I wish I'd never seen that entrance because I probably would have never expected May to drop the title to Rina.
No.
So I did miss the first few minutes just in anger.
I didn't.
But
yes, you go.
No, I was just going to say, what were you going to say about Mei Suruga?
No, I didn't realize that was the Choco Pro belt, to be honest. I didn't pay any attention to that. But yeah, that's kind of tragic that she beat Mei Suruga. That's really surprising.
Yeah, I'm kind of. It is really surprising. I would have thought she would have dropped to someone else on the roster. So I don't know if she's going to win it back later or whatever is there. I mean, I don't know because I haven't watched it yet because I haven't aired it. So I'll know later. I was going to ask you. I just wanted to check in about Mi Vida Loca and what you think about them and how you think it's going.
It's a bit of a tough situation, I guess, for them, right? With the two freelancers who can't always be there. You also got. I always thought like I've really warmed up to Bozilla, right? But I've never thought she was an exceptionally great fit for this team, because the team has like these like, I don't know, outlaw punk rock vibes kind of. And Bozilla doesn't really fit that vibe to me at all. So I think she's doing well in the team. She's fitting there, like she's like their big monster, which is cool to have for such a team, I guess. But I think stylistically she doesn't quite fit in. And yeah, Suzu, I had a lot of hopes for Suzu's Unstable. So far, it's been kind of rough, but I'm not pressing the panic button or anything either. I think Suzu is in a good spot right now, honestly.
Yeah. So I think Bazilla does fit it, but for a different reason. I think the reason why I think she fits well with Mi Vida Loca is because she's sort of like a tweener as well, as in like she can be the monster heel, but she can also be like a huge baby face when she's power bombing people and the whole crowd are going crazy. She regularly gets Bazilla chance, which she used to get in Marigold. And it does seem to be more of a tweener stable where they can just play either depending on who they're against, including like Suzu. Like she can be a bit heelish, you know, even though she's not really heel. Like the crowd loves her, but she can, like, you know, when she was beating up Maysara, right? Like that was her playing the heel role. Suki can, you know, I mean, Suki's awesome. And obviously Rini Yamashita can play heel. So I like that they're the tweener faction and Bazilla fits that, I think. But you're right, from an aesthetic point of view, the punk rock thing, she obviously doesn't.
Yeah, but now that you mentioned that, that's actually a good point. I think that's an important role to have for a faction. It's like the tweener thing. They haven't really had that since like Donna Del Mondo, I guess, split up. So yeah, they're having an important function on the roster, I guess. And it's kind of crazy that they're even playing heels against like Hate, because if Hate isn't the heel in this match, the heel faction, then maybe Mi Vida Loca is just the most heelish faction right now in the entire roster. I don't know.
Yeah, Suri kind of broke the dynamic of Hate, which we'll talk to as we get to the Miami Zaki match.
Oh yeah. Also, one thing that I'm always confused about. Did you ever read on Momo's gear? It says the Geeniest. Geeniest? Like GEENIEST? Or do I always read that wrong? I'm always so confused by what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
I don't even know what that is.
No. Like, is it genius misspelled? That's the only thing I can come up with.
Is that like an EO reference?
Maybe.
Or is that a WWE catchphrase? I don't know what.
I don't know.
The genius of the sky?
No. But she has that on her gear right now, and I'm very confused.
Because she spoke about the reason she changed her 5-star gear during the night was a tribute to EO. I know she's done it before with like Mayu. She wears the white, but she wanted to wear 2 different outfits on the same night because of EO. And she spoke in the interview as well about how much she appreciates EO and looks up to her. So I don't know if that's a reference though. Could be something completely different, and we'll get told what it is.
Yeah, maybe I can find a picture. Next match was God's Eye. It was an 8-man. Hina, Kyoka Kotatsu, Rana Yagami, Saki Kashima, defeating the Stars forming group of Hanan, Momokogo, and Saya Ida and Yuria Hime. Right, you go on this one.
I had no notes. I mean, it was Yuria's first time with Stars. Like, she didn't know where to stand on the entrance, but this was as house show match as you can get, so I didn't really have any notes.
Right. My only note about this one is that Hina's turning God's Eye into the hair faction. While Shiri's out, they all came out with like fresh haircuts. It's kind of funny.
Rana had the undercut, right?
Yeah, right. Rana had short hair. It looked cool though. Okay. I also noted Yuria had some very suggestive offense during the match, but
that's kind of the build for. Oh yeah, we should already mention that was the build for the future title match, which is happening at the Crock and Hall show, where Hina doesn't want Yuria to grind upon the title in her gravure photos. She thinks it's sacrilege. So for those that don't know, Yuria is a former gravure model. Do not Google her name unless you want to.
Right. And she's expanding on the ass offense, so
yeah,
that's good.
Which I'm not a fan of, but yeah.
Next up, where were we? It's a 4-way tag match. It's God's Eye again, which is Ami Sourei and Lady C, the remaining God's Eye members, I guess. They defeated the Cosmic Angels, Natsupai and Saoriano, and FWC, Hazuki and Koguma. And Neo Genesis team of Azumi and Miyu Amazaki. You got anything important to say about this one?
The double giant swing was pretty cool, but obviously Ami's giant swing needs some work. So you can tell the difference. But then Lady C almost killed Azumi, not throwing her far enough to the seconds at ringside. So they both couldn't do what the other can do.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was just really quick. It was just I barely looked at it and was already over. I don't know. I was surprised that FWC didn't take the pin, because they're usually the pin takers right now in a lot of STARDOM matches. Yeah, I'm also kind of. I thought Soriano and Natsupoi are probably gonna pick up the win, but they didn't. Amisoray picked up the win. I think I got this theory that like that Soriano and Natsupoi are gonna go for the tag title soon, because they got another tag match on the Korakuen, and they've been tagging quite a bit in recent memory on a lot of Korakuen shows and stuff. So I think maybe that's where they're going with those two, since they're not involved. Since neither one is involved in the red belt scene, obviously, and Sori just had the white belt shot. Natsupoi had the white belt too, so maybe the tag titles is in their future. But if that's the case, then I wonder why they didn't pick up the win here. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Next up, it was the Mayumi Ozaki vs Natsuko Tora match. So I had my problems with this match, to be honest. So first, the first notable thing was of course that Natsuko was kind of the babyface, and the fans were really behind Natsuko Tora. This was kind of her evil moment in New Japan, I guess. But then, like, Ozaki worked the entire first half of the match as the heel, right? Clearly. Very clearly. But then, in the second half of the match, she makes like 3 babyface comebacks. And Hate is like ganging up on her nonstop, and she has to fight like 1 vs 5, and is all of a sudden is in a total babyface position. And the crowd at this point wasn't really sure what to do either, which kind of killed them for the rest of the match. And that was so weird to me that she was like clearly working heel for a couple of minutes, and then chose to completely turn it around and be the babyface for the finishing stretch. Another thing I noted was that Ruaka kind of fucked it up. I don't know. It was really weird. So Ruaka usually does her weird like suitcase attack, right? And she usually like Tora holds someone in front of her. She attacks her with the suitcase and misses, obviously, like they always do with the heels. And this time, kind of like Ozaki held Tora in front of her, and Ruaka didn't even try to miss. She just hit Tora straight in the head. Like that wasn't even close. Like she wasn't even close to hitting Ozaki, and that spot like was completely backwards to me. So,
well, yeah, if I had £1 for every time Ruaka fucked up an interference spot, then I would have many pounds.
That's true. So all in all, I had quite a few problems with this match. I thought there was a dragon suplex towards the end that was incredible, but other than that, didn't like it very much.
Yeah, so I mean, for the background for this match, like I said, it was set up on the 17th of August Korakuen Hall show at Oz Academy, which is Zaki's promotion. So Hate bombarded the main event. So it was a main event between Ozaki, Kakeru, and Sariano, and then Ruaka stole the belt. So that's what set this up. So now watching the recent Oz Academy show, I know what this is leading to. So the fact that they were beating her up and babyfacing Ozaki now makes sense. But it doesn't explain, I guess, the initial heel acts from Ozaki, unless it was just Ozaki being Ozaki, right?
Yeah.
If she was just like, yeah, this is what I do. I hang people over the top rope. That's just what I do.
Right.
But she was getting a lot of boos over Tora. I don't know if it makes it kind of, you realize how flimsy the heat for Hate was if Suri just single-handedly baby-faced them. Like you know all those fake heel comments? Like,
Yeah.
by the way, this isn't a Stardom thing. Every single big Japanese promotion has this issue with their top heel unit not being quote-unquote proper heels. Like, there is no Suri type heel in any promotion.
Right.
There are some that are close, but they will get cheered in certain situations. But yeah, the fact that Saki was getting booed over Tora, I don't know, Suri's really fucked things up. But anyway, where it's led to is on the recent Oz Academy show, they interrupted again in the main event. So what happened was, and I don't know if we want to go through that or show later, but the basics of it is Sarianu was kicked out of Ozakigun, or now it's called Sekigun, at the end of the year. I think you were at that show, 2024, December.
Yeah, I was.
At Korakuen Hall. Yeah, so she was kicked out, and she's been sort of homeless for a while. So she joined like Phantom Limit. She was adopted by Phantom Limit, which is Akino's stable with Kahaku and Unagi Sayaka and Sebasta Kuragaki. And at the last show, Shinjuku Face, she got permission to leave Phantom Limit by Akino, and Akino like handed her the whip, which is like her signal to go back to Sekigun, and Ozaki was just on the floor, and then they were just like cutting like emotional promos. I wish I had transcripts, but Shupro doesn't have it, and neither does Oz Academy, which is really annoying. So I don't know exactly what they said, but it was quite emotional. And it ended up with Sekigun reforming. So it's Ozaki, Sarianu, Kakeru, and Mayu Yukihi. So Mayu Yuki. So they're now back together as Sekigun, and they will face Hate at the Oz Academy Yokohama Budokan show on 19th of October. So the whole story of this match was that Ozaki had no friends. And if you read the backstage interviews as well, they kind of like make actually it's inside the ring. Natsuko Tora picks up the mic and says, like, how dare you show up like without like any help or any seconds, all by yourself. So the whole story was she showed up by herself. That's why they all gang up at her in the end. And then on the Oz Academy show, Toru Okada was there as well. She gets her stable back, so now she's back at full strength and she's ready to fuck Hate up. But watching this in isolation is kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
You kind of need both matches to kind of make sense. But that's where they were leading, and that's why they were beating her up at the end.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah, the weird thing with Oz Academy is like I'm almost entirely out of the loop of the creative going on there, of like the storylines and everything. It's like 1 or 2 days of the year. It's my favorite promotion in the world when I see them live, because the live shows are fucking incredible every time. But like for the other 364 days of the year, I stopped caring about it entirely. So
they can't make up their mind on where they want to stream as well. So sometimes they're on Nika Pro, sometimes they're on Zyko. So it's kind of hard to keep up with them. But yeah,
for sure. Okay, after that we had the intermission, of course. Cool, but thank you for the explanation, for sure. That's very interesting. That's kind of what I wanted to ask you about later. Maybe I got like 2 more questions maybe about the Oz show, but
go for it.
Yeah. Right now?
Well, whatever you want.
No, let's do it later.
Okay.
Right. Let's finish this show first. It's the IWGP Women's title match came next. It was a rematch from the 5-star Grand Prix where Sari and Suzuki went to a time limit draw. And this one, Sari in the end defeated Suzu. And I loved this match quite a bit, actually. I never had like any illusions that Sari was gonna lose, actually.
Yeah.
But they kind of managed to get me anyway. With like Suzu had 2 near falls towards the end that was so close and was so like believable to me in the moment, at least, that I completely fell for them and like I almost had a heart attack when I thought Sari just lost the belt. That was crazy. So overall, I think they roped me in perfectly. They played it perfectly. I thought it was just worked excellently. What else would you expect from Sari and Suzu? And it was just a hard-hitting fight. It was just very, very, very great to me. I also thought like one thing that stood out to me in this match was they had like a mat wrestling portion in between, and Suzu is usually like known to be like more of a brawler type, brawling outside the ring and stuff like that, using weapons and stuff. And for some reason, she had like some really great mat wrestling counters in this one, which kind of surprised me.
For some reason, it's because she's awesome.
Yeah,
that's the reason.
Obviously. But she's not really known for this like crisp, smooth mat wrestling that she showed in this one. I thought so. So yeah, yeah. They had a couple of Uranagis towards the end that was so fucking insanely scary looking. When like, yeah, it's always a move that scares me. But Suzu made it look especially scary, like turning her head at the very last moment before breaking her neck. I guess it's crazy. Oh, the top rope German suplex also. That was an insane spot to me.
Yeah, that's the spot where I started typing in caps. A match is good when you start typing your notes in caps.
For me, it's like from that moment on, I have like 1,000 typos. Like every single word is typed wrong because I was just like blindly hacking onto my keyboard.
The point I realized so I thought it was a bit slower to start off with compared to I'm comparing everything to their previous match.
Yeah.
So this match in isolation I still loved. I loved this match. The way I see it is like these two are like kindred spirits. They have like a really good chemistry. And I also get the sense that Suri likes wrestling Suzu. Like Suzu doesn't mind getting hit hard, she doesn't mind getting headbutted, whatever, and she also gives as much as she gets. And I think Suri kind of agrees with me because like after the match, she said, Suzu's incredible and she rarely finds someone that fulfilling to fight. And Suzu returned the praise. And then, backstage, Suri called it a clash of souls, right? So they both know how well they wrestle each other and have this chemistry. So while it started slower, the ending portion, it was like when Suzu tried to do like ironic Suri chants and it actually worked. Like the crowd actually started chanting Suri. Like after that moment is when I said everything was fucking awesome. Yeah. The avalanche German suplex, I just typed fuck me. That was my only note. So it was almost like because this was straight after I think it was Suri fighting Spirited, Suzu's German, right? So then Suzu was like, okay, how about this one? And then Suri pays her back like the same way. I think Suzu was setting up the spiral tap, or that move she like rarely pulls out.
Yeah.
And I pop every time she's going for it, and then she pulled it out in the May Sarah match at All Star Grand Queendom. So yeah, then she paid her back with an avalanche. The crowd were going crazy. And then the Uranagis. So there was a really smart pin attempt from Suri. It was after the double German suplex from Suzu when she was holding on. So she faked a wrist clutch Uranagi, which is like her super finisher. She does all her normal Uranagis, and you can kick out 3 or 4 of those if you're really tough. But you don't kick out of the wrist clutch, especially if there's a headbutt before.
Yes.
So she faked the wrist clutch, and then she rolled into like a Dos Caras clutch. And that was sick. I actually thought that was the finish. I thought Suri was going to win based on that because like it's a way to protect Suzu in a way because it's like a surprise finish. So that near fall got me. I thought that was my favorite moment of the match though. So
right, yeah, no, I don't have much to add. So you said you liked the tournament match more.
I did, but the 5-star, but that's because they're both awesome though. It's not like I didn't like one. It's just the 5-star felt more special to me with the crowd being behind Suzu's. It was a much more intimate environment because it was KBS Hall, right, in Kyoto. So it was like all compact in a smaller arena, and I just prefer matches like that. I'm not really much of a bigger arena sort of. Yeah, just because of the intimacy of the crowd. Really, that's it.
Yeah, this was also like a more like epically styled match, I guess. Sorry?
Yeah, it started much slower.
Yeah. It's like the typical main event epic style. I understand when people say they don't prefer that style. So yeah, I get it from that perspective, I guess. But me personally, I prefer this one over the tournament match for sure. But like I said earlier, I think I was in the wrong mood maybe during the tournament. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So
match of the night though. So
sorry,
it was my match of the night. So
Yeah, mine too, for sure. I wrote 4.5, but I don't usually rate matches, so that doesn't really mean anything to me. I just thought
I'm not even going to say my rings because people get mad. So
Okay.
I just really love this match. That's all you guys need to know.
Right, that's true. Okay, next up we had another rematch from the 5-star Grand Prix when Tomoka Inaba upset Starlight Kid in the opening night of the Grand Prix. This was the rematch for the white belt. I thought this was also excellent. I thought it was a bit weaker maybe than the Suzusa rematch. I thought I had the Suzusa rematch like slightly higher than this one, I guess. I guess I got more invested into the Suzusa rematch maybe. But I also
Did
thought
you copy my homework?
Sorry?
Did you copy my homework?
Sorry.
We've got the exact same opinions on everything. It's almost like we should have a podcast together.
Seems like it, huh? I knew why I asked you first.
Yeah.
Right. No, I think maybe now that I think about it, like my main thing about this match is that in the 5-star Grand Prix match, they had me like from the beginning. I was totally into it. Yeah. They did the leg selling match, the same thing they did here basically. But in this one, it took me a while to get into it. But now that I think about it, that may be because I was so exhausted from the Suzu's rematch actually.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really the case for the 5-star match on the opening night. So maybe I can't really fault them for not getting into this one immediately because I was still like so hyped from the previous match, I guess. But towards the end, or like let's say the entire second half, I thought this one was just as excellent, and they really got me into it as well. And yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I think it was just brilliant work again. I love these leg selling matches that Starlight Kid does lately, has done almost like the entire year, I guess, since the Great Natsupoi match. And yeah, that's basically it. They played it perfectly. I think her like numero dos, Tiger Leg Killer. I don't even know which one is which at this point, but it looks brutal every time. And she had her in there for so long, Tomoka at the end, and the selling was great from Tomoka. That yeah, they really got me into it. She often does the spot, right, when she picks her up, when she has someone in the numero dos, picks them up and spins them a bit or whatever. And on this one, she slammed Tomoka down so hard after she picked her up.
That was fucking awesome.
It was sick. She also did that crazy knee pile driver, which she sometimes does, which is like a scary as fuck looking thing. And it's like kind of straight out of like Chaguya Yokota from 1983 or something. But yeah, both survived, I guess. And yeah, there were a couple of things that I was surprised by, like Starlight Kid kicking out of like the chi kick, or whatever Tomoka calls it. Tomoka kicked out of the Tiger Driver, which surprised me a bit. And
that Tiger Driver is really good, right?
Oh yeah,
I like her Tiger Driver because it feels like one rather. So I don't know how to explain it except when other people are taking a Tiger Driver or delivering one, like there's like a full flat back bump, and it's like it's like a sit out power bomb. Yeah. But this one feels like a Tiger Driver.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just overall, I was blown away by the end of it. Like I said, unfortunately, I should maybe rewatch it isolated from the previous match to really fully appreciate it. But I thought it was great. I thought Tomoka looks a little too much like Julia to me with her braids.
Now you mention it, yeah.
that kind of got her on my bad side for a bit, but yeah, they did a lot of callbacks to the first match, which I appreciated. And at several points, like Starlight Kid almost tapped at one point, which
yes.
I think that's the moment when I really got into it. Yeah, you go. I talked to.
Yeah, I was just saying, one of my notes is how good SLK's selling was this match. Her selling was fucking amazing. I saw some people say Tomoka's selling was like even better than Starlight Kid's and really, really good. I thought it was good. Well, her selling was definitely good. I just had a few issues, and I think it's because I compare almost every legwork match by SLK now to that Sariano one. I feel like that is like the peak. It was so fucking good that I have to compare every match she has now in a similar style. Well, none of the matches are the same, but in a legwork fashion. So, and I thought Saru was just much better with the selling of SLK's submission work than Tomoka was. SLK's selling in particular was amazing in this match.
No, I totally agree. She had this one moment when it was before she did the moonsault. Usually she does like the flat moonsault on the leg. And she did the top rope moonsault this time onto Tomoka's leg. And she sold her ass off just to get onto the top rope. She like collapsed like
awesome.
She collapsed like 3 times from her leg pain before she even got to the turnbuckle, and it was just tremendous selling. But yeah, I think overall probably I agree with you that Starlight Kid's selling was better, or was even more like dramatic and tragic the way she sold her leg. But during the finishing stretch, like when Starlight Kid had Tomoka in like the final submission hold, that's when Tomoka like really shined as well in her selling.
Yep. Yeah, I think this was the stage 2, which is the leg in front of the head. I think, well, Skinny Pup can correct me because I think he knows every single one. I think stage 3 is combining the stretch with a leg lock, which she doesn't do very often. I think she maybe did it against Natsuko. But yeah.
Okay. That's always when I think when she traps like the arms with the legs too, or the head, it's like, that's enough for most people, also, I think, to tap out. Yes.
She was selling the leg when walking out of the arena. What a pro, okay? Like, Starlight Kid just needs more mentions as, well, first of all, she should be spoken of as, one of the best technical wrestlers on the planet.
Absolutely.
Like, she should be reaching, like, hey, who should we vote for this year? Is it just Zach? No, she should be in that conversation. She's that good. Do you ever see the same SLK match? Like, you see the same themes, like legwork, but the structure of every match feels very different. I never feel like, I'm watching a Starlight Kid match.
That's true. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, awesome match.
Absolutely. After this, we had the main event, which was also a rematch from the STARDOM 5-star Grand Prix, where B. Priestley beat Saya Kamitani, the first singles match loss for Saya in quite a while, I'd say. They chose to give that to B. Priestley for some reason. I wasn't very happy about that when it happened in the Grand Prix. But wait, the first singles loss in STARDOM, I should say. She lost in Wave like a week earlier, I think.
Yeah, she did.
So this one was the rematch for the World of STARDOM title. Do you want to go first for this one?
Yep. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought it was very much carried by Saya Kamitani, trying her hardest to make B look as good as she possibly could. I think this was the most motivated I think I've seen Saya in a long time in a singles match. She was bumping like fucking crazy, more than usual. She normally bumps like crazy, but yeah, I think she did a lot of heavy lifting. I think like this match was like 80% like Saya. She was super fired up for it. I feel like B wasn't that fired up, or it's not that she was bad. I still think she was quite good, but she definitely wasn't matching like Saya's intensity. Whereas Saya was like, this is a red belt match. This is how I wrestle in a red belt match, and B was sort of like, yeah, I mean, I'm just wrestling Saya Kamitani on a house show. So, like there was, I guess one example of this, just so I'm actually giving substantive criticism, is there was like a really bad elbow that B gave to Saya after Saya's bicycle kick, and I'm like, you just have to lay it in a bit more in like a red belt match. So yeah, and there was another spot where she was like I think the commentators called it a blue thunder bomb, I heard, and it looked nothing like a blue thunder bomb. So even they're sort of confused at some things. But overall, I think Bea did better than she has in all of her other matches. But Saya's bumping is what made me enjoy this match. Like, there was a cool Avalanche Frankenstein spot. The Star Crusher stuff. So I think normally Saya doesn't protect the normal Star Crusher. I think it's the spinning one that she protects. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because like Bea, I think so. There was one where Saya didn't cover Bea. I always wonder if it's B or a B. I think it's B. A or a B. It's B, yeah. So there was one where she didn't get the cover, so fine. I mean, that's technically protected. And then there was one where B just kicked out. I was like, okay. And then she didn't kick out the spinning one. So I guess I prefer the Star Crusher to be a bit more protected. But also,
no, you're
I kind of like
my homework, man.
Oh yeah, my bad. Well, this is why we take it in turns to go first. So yeah, then at least one of us can, we can sound smart at different points.
Right.
So there was the Queen's Landing electric chair spot from B that I thought was really cool. That Saya kicked out of it. And yeah, so just a pretty good match. Nothing more.
Yeah. Is that King's Landing thing? Is that the Ocean Cyclone? Or which one do you remember?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they called it Queen's Landing. Is it? I don't know.
They might call it Queen's Landing. I was surprised that she's still doing that because like she got like yelled at by Manami Toyota once when she did that move without asking. So I was surprised that she put it out again in this one. She did it like in her first STARDOM run in 2019 or whatever. She did it in a title match, and Manami Toyota wrote like a public letter on Twitter or whatever.
Oh shit!
That people should not use her move. Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
But I also had a mini heart attack on this one because Saya kicked out so late.
Oh, you thought she was gonna?
I don't know. I never really thought she was gonna win, but Saya kicked out so late on the Ocean Cyclone thing, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I disagree with one thing a bit. At least I thought B. Priestley laid in on Saya, at least at the beginning of the match, pretty hard. Like outside, when they were fighting on the outside, I thought her strikes were pretty good actually, and she laid it in pretty well. And she was destroying Saya's back pretty effectively, I thought, in that portion of the match. But yeah, like my biggest or my only complaint really about her, like I agree, this is the best B has done so far in the STARDOM run. This is the least complaints I have. My main complaint is that she shouldn't have kicked out of the Star Crusher, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The one thing you also gotta mention is I don't know, I may have missed it, but the suplex spot where they suplexed over the top rope to the outside.
It was like a brain bust, and then they sort of like tumbled over, right?
Yeah. That's just a crazy spot to do. That must be so difficult. That's like the standout spot of the match to me, basically. Other than that, I thought it was by far B's best showing so far. It couldn't reach the previous two matches, but pretty good.
Yeah, the problem I have is I can't get into the story. Like, there is a story behind this match. The story is like B's meant to be coming in and bully the current champ because she was a former one. And so she's meant to have that like respect, right, of being a red belt champion. But I just don't care about that story. Personally, I wasn't watching back then, but even if I was, I probably wouldn't care. And given how unbeaten Saya was for so long, I feel like it just makes the story a bit worse. So if it had a better story, I probably would have been more into this as well.
Mm-hmm. So after the match, Azumi appears.
Let's fucking go.
She challenged Saya for the next. When is it? Is it the next Korakuen?
It's the 27th.
It's 27th, right? For both belts, she put her belt on the line. I think there could be a mild criticism that Azumi lost the 5-star finals, so she shouldn't just get a red belt match anyway. But I think since she's putting her belt on the line, I think that kind of makes it perfectly acceptable to me, I guess. She beat Saya in the tournament, and now, despite losing the finals to get the match, I guess she's just putting her belt on the line as well. Could be an explanation that I made in my up in my head at least. So I'm fine with it. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna fucking rule. The tournament match was really good too. And yeah, what do you think?
Well, I fucking love Azumi, so yeah, whenever she's in that spot, I'll take it. Obviously she's not going to win, but it's going to be an awesome match, and I think that it was a quarterfinal match, right? 5-star. That was also a sick match, so
right.
I'm looking forward to the rematch. Yeah, and Azumi's going to be super over at Kurokan as well, so I'm happy that it's taking place there as well, rather than maybe a bigger arena with less intimate crowd. Azumi's going to be super over, so should make the crowd. Should make the match even better.
And then we probably will have double champion Saya too, when she.
I think she's just gonna. She's probably just gonna bin the title. I think.
You think? Yeah, maybe. I think maybe Mercedes comes third, and we get Mercedes versus Saya.
yeah, that would be.
I mean, she wants the belt back, I assume. I don't think Mercedes just forgot about the strong belt. No, I just want to.
That should be for the red belt as well.
I want to see Saya versus Mercedes. That would be such a sick match. It's kind of a dream match, I think, in many ways. But politically, probably impossible. So,
yeah,
probably not happening.
There was one thing I wanted to talk about briefly before going on to other stuff. So, something else I want to talk about is Saya's level as a wrestler in ring. So, obviously, there's been a lot of discourse over Saya, MVP, Luthez, award sort of thing, and the longer that, and I wrote in the half-year social suplex, I'd vote Saya number one. I've actually sort of changed my mind since then, and I would for sure put Suri. And one of the things I've been looking at just personally at my own like data and my own ratings and stuff like that, I've just noticed that I haven't really enjoyed Saya singles matches. Like I can't ever say she's like had a match of the year contender match that hasn't included like Tam Nakano and then maybe the Suzu red belt match. But she's in the ring with like amazing wrestlers. I just feel like she's not at the level in ring where she can carry someone to a match of the year contender match. And I feel like that's important to be like an overall MVP, to include in-ring stuff. And I don't know if you feel the same or if I'm saying like a hot take here, but yeah, I just feel like her in-ring is maybe lacking towards level people think she's at. Is that a hot take?
I think not really that hot. I mean, good. I guess compared to others in the company,
yes, exactly,
she's not the greatest worker in the company. Like I think the opinions go. They vary very much about Saya and have always been. I've personally been I have been a Saya hater in my in my history with her. Like not just because she was Tom's rival or whatever, not just a kayfabe hater. I have really not liked her in-ring as much during her white belt reign, when she had like the 14 defense white belt reign, the record breaking white belt reign. A lot of people have said that was like the best in-ring title reign like ever or whatever, and I've never been as high on her, like especially in that phase when she was still like babyface Kamitani. I think she has improved like a lot over the past 2 years since losing the white belt. Honestly, I thought she's improved since then, because she worked a lot more on her like selling, and she dropped a lot of the stuff that to me always was on her weaker side. What I still think is that she has one of the weakest forearms when she throws them on the roster. I thought that was kind of noticeable in the Kurara match in Kurikan, their red belt match. I thought it was kind of noticeable, honestly, that I thought Kurara's forearms looked stronger than Saya's. That's something that shouldn't happen in that match, honestly. That like the little rookie who has no chance of winning.
It's normally one of the things that when you become a champion in this scene, you start to beat the crap out of people younger than you. That's sort of like the thing. Right. Oh, okay, I'm the top champion now. I need to lay my stuff in. You see it in every single company. Yeah. So yeah, the fact that she couldn't do that against a rookie was So I liked the match, that match, but it kind of showed some of her weaker areas, I feel like.
What I want to add to the overarching topic, I guess, of MVP. I think if you take Saya's work, it's maybe not on the top level in Stardom. If you compare it to other MVP candidates all over the world, if you take
we can agree on this, yeah.
if you take like the only other one that beats her really is Mystico, and I guess Hangman in AW. Other than that, you have Mystico. I think Saya Kamitani blows Mystico away in the ring in 2025 easily, and she blows anyone in WWE away for sure. So when it's about this MVP race, I think her in-ring is easily good enough to place up there with anyone else.
I would just say, why not just go with Saria at that point, though? Well, I know you don't have to do one or the other, but the problem is, like, with these races, you normally don't want to split the vote, right?
Right. So
if I wasn't splitting the vote, I would give my vote to Suri, just because rather than having like half Saya, half Suri, and then they're both 10th or whatever.
well, I guess you gotta. The thing to consider is the accolade that gets Saya there is the success of Stardom, right?
Yeah.
She is the reason why Stardom is hot. Suri is not even a roster member of Stardom, so I don't know if you can really credit Suri with the hotness of Stardom when Stardom was hot and was getting hot before Suri really came in. So she doesn't have Suri doesn't quite have the same level of I guess drawing power or the same level of accomplishment of making a promotion so incredibly hot as Saya does. So
all right, Tim, let me roll my sleeves up. No, I'm just joking. The thing I would say, the business case that Suri has, aside from her Suri-ism shows, which, sell out immediately, like the conversion, I think can be credited somewhat to her with Suri main event. That did a really good gate. And also the hotness of the 5-star and the social media attention it got is, I sort of compare that to the social media attention that Sai's been getting by being on the Love It TV show and stuff like that. I do think there's a comparable case. It's definitely not as clear-cut, and obviously a lot of Saya's case for Stardom being hot is tied with the Tam Nakano story. I think a large part of it. That story is what got Stardom hot in the first place. But I think Sari's sort of like taken the mantle, starting with like conversion and her heel run. I don't know if that's so yeah, that's how I see it at least.
No, I can't. That's an important thing. Like, I'm not against like Sari's case.
Yeah. I mean, I want both to win.
I think a lot of people who are having this discussion online, wherever you read it, it's very like one side completely dismisses the other, and that's just complete bullshit to me. Like, obviously, I would completely, like, the conversion number, I would put that on Suri, absolutely. Like, there's no question in my mind that Suri is maybe even mainly responsible for that one. And the Suriism project so far has been incredibly impressive, I think. And I absolutely agree with you there. I think overall I would put I would put the accomplishment of getting Stardom to this level a bit above that still. I would also argue that Tam Nakano had a major part in that, so it wasn't like only Saya Kamitani.
Tam Nakano's first 4 months are going to go under the radar. It was probably the best 4 months before retirement ever. She was just shitting out banger after banger on those 4 months. It was insane.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, if I had to vote, like you have 3 votes for MVP, I really do want to do just Saya, Tam, and Suri, all 3.
Oh my, that is so cool.
Because honestly, that's kind of what it is for me. Like Tam's accomplishment, even if it was only 4 months, is so incredible that she has to get a shot too. So I'm open to vote just for all 3 of them. Honestly, that's kind of
that's a good note on that. Yeah, to end that conversation on Tam Nakano, number 1.
Absolutely. I always compare that with, like, I don't know, if you vote for an actor of the year or something, or like whatever, if there was a vote like that, I guess the Oscars or whatever, it's not like, it's mostly for one work, right? That someone does in that year, or like a
That's a
musician
really
or
good
whatever.
analogy. Yeah.
And Tam had her like one epic thing, that one epic storyline that like bombarded Stardom into like a stratosphere that they've never been before. And just for that's enough for me to get her an MVP vote, honestly. Even if she wasn't there for the rest of the year.
You know what we should do weekly, Tim? We should mention the number that Stardom did on that show. Hang on, let me get the exact number. We can mention it every single week until maybe Dave talks about it.
It was 7,502 or something?
7,503. You're just close enough.
Yeah.
One of the best attendances in 20 years. We'll talk about it every single week until it gets more until it gets more notice, because it is absolutely insane what that story did.
Yeah. Higher attendance than any non-Tokyo Dome New Japan attendance the entire year.
Yep. And that's beating all of the big New Japan shows except Tokyo Dome, as Tim said. That is insane.
Right.
All right. Should we preview the Korakuen quickly?
Oh, we can do that. I haven't pulled it up.
I have the card.
Yeah, you go.
So we have Hate, which is Azusa Inaba, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, and Sai Kamitani against Bea Priestley, Hanan, Momo Kogo, and Saya Ida. So it's Bea Priestley and Stars against Hate. That's not really. I mean, that's just a opener.
Yeah,
it's not really previewing anything, I think. I guess we'll see who eats the pin. Maybe Hanan pins Saya for a shot at one point. They still have a pay-per-view in November, remember? So
I think
if yeah.
No, you go. Sorry.
I was just going to say, if Izumi is in 27th of September, they still got to build to a November, presumably red belt match. That's before the tag league. So they could have one more shot before the tag league. So
yeah, the only interesting thing I can think about this one is I have some people like I've seen some people discuss what Bea Priestley is actually gonna do in Stardom now. What's her role? What her role is gonna be? And a lot of people think maybe this is like a fake out, her like teaming with Stars, and she's ultimately gonna join Hate instead.
Oh,
so
I just vomited. Don't say that.
So that's maybe an option that she's gonna turn on Stardom, on Stars or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, okay. You have to stop me from crashing out on this podcast. Okay, well I was close to that. So I don't know what it is. One of the things about Bea that I can't get on with is, you know, the way she says like, you know, Ichiban Shopai, you know, and in the most British accent ever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think I will spontaneously combust if she goes heel and she does the most British heelish shout outs ever. I wouldn't be able to handle that, to be honest.
But that's kind of the thing, right? Her demeanor or her entire thing is like so unlikable. Maybe that's where it stems from, that people think she has to go heel at some point. But I'm not sure how that is for the local crowd, for the Japanese crowd, if it comes across as unlikable to them as it does to us.
Well, no, they like her, right?
Yeah, I think so. So maybe that's just Western opinions. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were going to say that she was going to join Stars, and that kind of makes sense to me, to be honest. They don't really have a lot of members, and you know, it used to be like the home stable, right?
Yeah, essentially.
So we'll see. Next up, we got Isakura Kikyo Furusawa and Saika Kurara against Hanako, Rian, and Waka Tsukiyama. So that's Cosmic Angels and Kikyo versus EXV. So yeah, I guess stuff will have. I don't know. That's gonna the normal one. It's a whacker match. So, and then Amisore Kyoko. So this is Godzai, Kyoko Kotatsu, Lady C, and Saki Kishima versus Mavida Loka, Bazilla, Itsuki Aoki, Rina Yamashita, and Suzu Suzuki. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. I'd like to see Ami against Suzu.
Yeah,
and I really like Itsuki Aoki. I don't know if you have an opinion of her, because I see her in a lot of other promotions, and she is awesome.
I've liked her so far in Stardom, yeah.
But she hasn't shown much, so I can understand if you don't have much of an opinion.
I don't have a fully formed opinion, I must say, but I've always liked her. Yeah, that's basically everything.
Cool. And what do you think of Kyoko Katatsu? I don't know what her end game. She didn't wrestle she hasn't wrestled for a while.
She was injured for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
She is one of my like. I don't know if I can say she's like a special little guy to me, but
She's a special little guy.
not yet. The thing is, I've always followed like she was in Glade, right, as Maya Fukuda, and I've always loved watching her in Glade. She was like that. I don't know. They completely mismanaged every one of their young talents, and it was always like
they still do.
a little tragic. How her career, I guess, went there. But she always stood out to me. She was like always one of those talents that's completely underlooked in like the Joshi scene because she wasn't lead, obviously. Who cares about them? But I was so happy when I saw her in Stardom. So I really hope she's gonna like pick it up there and yeah, get there. She had that match against Ayasakura, I think. Was that on the conversion, maybe? Not sure. Nah, I think it was earlier.
The UWF rules match, or?
Yeah, and I kind of really liked that. That was like just a straight up, just we kick each other until someone dies, I guess, match. And I loved that. And I kind of love her, like, her style, I guess. Her, like, kickboxy style. I don't know. I really hope she gets there eventually. Right now, she's kind of really under the radar because of her long injury time as well. And I thought she really stood out for a while after she entered Stardom in like their little 8-mans and stuff she had. They always put her in a position to stand out, I think, as well. Shuri always kind of like tried to get her into the ring as much as possible. And she's looked really good then, I thought. And unfortunately, she had that injury. And since then, it's kind of been like she kind of completely went under the radar again, which is, yeah, kind of sad. But yeah, I'm really rooting for her, for sure.
Cool. Well, glad you told us about your special little guy. Cool. I learned something new. Next up, we have Natsupoi and Sarianu versus Ronnie Yagami and Tomoka Inaba. So, as we said earlier, probably gearing them up for a tag team title run just to put them on the back burner because they're not really involved with Red Belt. They need to give Momo the runway to work with Saya, so this is something that they can do in the meantime, I guess.
All right.
Then it's a 3-way: Akira Kurigani, MMA Ishima, and Hazuki, who is probably on her way out any day now. Contracts are up in March normally, right?
Yeah.
So there's a long time. Well, I guess 6 months, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
But she's working pretty much everywhere but Stardom. So
that's true. I would be really sad to see her go, but
I love Hazuki. Yeah,
that's another conversation, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. And then it's the CMLL Japan's title, which I don't know why that's a thing, but that's cool. Dark Silhouette versus Koguma. Mm-hmm. I think Hazuki and Koguma are probably going to be in the Women's Grand Prix in CMLL on the 24th of October. So okay. I think this is probably what this match is setting up.
Okay.
But I don't have any opinion. That match is probably going to be it's going to be a Koguma match. So, yeah. And then High Speed title. I really wish the high speed rules weren't a thing. Mei Sarah defending against Yuna Mizumori. Yeah, they just have this weird format. If they just had a standard match, this would probably be a banger. But they have this weird 2 out of 3 falls. I don't even remember.
2 out of 3 falls, 15-minute time limit, I guess.
Oh, 15, okay. Yeah.
I kind of thought it was interesting or exciting to have like special rules for a belt. Like for something like the high speed title, it's fitting to have special rules. But as it turned out so far, yeah, I gotta agree. I'm not the biggest fan of them, of this specific set of rules, I guess.
This is Toru Okada cooking a bit too much. He cooks to perfection sometimes. This is maybe overcooked. Yeah. In a semi-main event, probably. I actually don't have the card order, I think. Hina versus Yurahime and for the future. Mm-hmm. So Hina's trying to protect the title from Graviornus. So we'll see if she can do that. Hina's been awesome in almost every single, in every single future match. She's been awesome. She's
been improving like tenfold this year.
I don't know about Yuria. I don't know. Has she had a big singles match? This is her biggest singles match for sure, though, right?
I mean, she's faced Hina before, right? Wasn't that on What show was that?
that
Was that under conversion?
Was that Sapporo?
Oh, that might have been Sapporo. Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought that was a pretty good match too. Oh no!
it wasn't
I'm
Sapporo.
conflating it. I'm conflating it with the qualifying match between Rana.
With
and
Akira,
Yuria.
yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty good match. That was probably Yuria's best showing to me so far, maybe. I haven't really had many takeaways from her 5-star performances, to be honest. I thought maybe her qualifying match was more impressive than anything she did in the 5-star itself. So, yeah.
I don't remember a single Euro 5-star match.
Not really.
I'm really struggling to think of one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then in the main event, the artists title. So Azumi, Miya Amasaki, and Starlight Kid, Neo Genesis, against Hate, Fukugan Def is finally back, Konami, and Rina. So this one was scheduled before Rina got her concussion, I believe, like in June or July or something. And then they had to cancel it because of the concussion. So this is the rematch.
Okay. Yeah.
Fukugan Def's been very busy running her own promotion, so Gokugan Pro. So that's why she's barely been around.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch that one?
No, because in order to watch it, you kind of have to like email her, and then
Okay.
and then you have to pay like £20
Okay.
for like each show. There've been some interesting cards, like Makoto works there quite a bit. Benny's on the next show. I think Nanami work there as well. So there are some interesting cards, but overall, I just know what it's going to be like. It's like Yonyama, you know what she's like. It's going to be a lot of comedy, slapstick. So I'm like, I'll just pass on that, and I'll just look at the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, exactly. Fun house showy.
Right. All right.
So now we've done Stardom. Something that I wanted to highlight, because I've barely seen anyone talk about it, and I don't know if I'm just being a special snowflake or trying to be too cute. And I don't know. This is literally one of my favorite matches of the entire year. I said I wouldn't do ratings, but in the rare case, I did give this 5 stars because I never do that. I've got 6 5-stars this year out of like over 4,000 matches. So this match I thought was super special, and no one's spoken about it except very select, obviously TJPW channel and VOW and some other places, but I haven't heard any of it in like any major publications, which means it's going to get no match of the year buzz. So I wanted to bring some attention to one of the best wrestlers in the world, Miyu Watanabe, and specifically her match against Shoko Nakajima. So this was the semi-finals of the Tokyo Princess Cup, and they've faced each other many times before. They are probably the 2 wrestlers that have the most amazing chemistry that you'll ever watch. They just know exactly how to wrestle each other, and the best thing is they wrestled each other weeks before in Dallas, which was TJPW's hugely successful show where they drew the highest number in history that beats all of their Japan numbers. I think they drew like over 2,500. They faced each other there in the singles, and that match was sort of like the spot fest sort of match. They were just going bam, 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 move into move, and I loved that match a lot because of the crowd interaction, all of that. So this match was different, and it was emotional. And when I was talking earlier in the podcast about being ready to receive a match, this is probably the best example of that, because this match just got me emotionally. Maybe a bit like you with a TAM match, Tim. This was my TAM match. Okay, I was into everything that they were doing. What do you think Miyu Watanabe is one of the best wrestlers in the world, or is this just me?
I think that's a fair assessment.
I think if she was in Stardom or another, company that gets covered, or like has a house style that allows her to work like these types of matches so often, I think she would be seen that way. But because she can only have these matches like in title matches, like once every few months or even once a year in the Princess Cup, it's really hard for her to stand out. But I can't think of one thing that Miyu does poorly or badly. And I think she excels in every area of wrestling. So that's storytelling, that's selling, power moves. We know she can do chain wrestling, as we can see her with Shoko. And in Dallas, there was mainly a chain wrestling match, grappling on the mat. I don't know if there's anything she can't do. So I want to put Miyu Watanabe out there as one of the best in the world and hope she gets spoken of more highly. Do you have any other views on Miyu before I get into the match?
The only thing I can say about this is that I totally agree with you in general. Like whenever I watch a wrestle, it's just amazing. I always think, and I gotta preface this with like I'm not the kind of fan of a promotion who thinks it would be cool if every single wrestler would join their promotion and then take them away from other promotions or anything. If I can say for one wrestler in the world that every time I watch her, I think, man, fuck, I would give everything to see her in Stardom. It's Miyu Watanabe.
Thank you.
And,
I'm so glad you agreed.
No, it's true. And that's not because I want to take her away from Tokyo Joshi Pro. It's just because it's just the thing is I just rarely have the time to dive into Tokyo Joshi Pro. Way too little in my life. But I do enjoy the promotion every time I watch it. So that's no slight against Tokyo Joshi Pro at all. I've seen her live on January 4th when she had the match with Mizuki.
Yep, was awesome.
This was fucking incredible also. May have been my favorite match of the day. And yeah, to remind everyone, that's the same day as Wrestle Kingdom. So, I love
You said your favorite match of that day. Sorry, you cut out.
Yeah, which means I may have liked it better than anything on the Wrestle Kingdom card.
Oh, okay.
Because that's obviously also on January 4th. And I've been to both shows. But yeah, I may have liked like 3 or 4 of the matches on the Tokyo Joshi Pro card were really fun to watch live, especially. And I may have liked the show in general, may have liked it more than like the Kingdom card was kind of underwhelming in the grand scheme of things, you know. I don't think I'm the only person to say that. So overall, that Tokyo Joshi Pro show was really fun in Korakuen that day, and I love Miyu Watanabe here. So, and I
thank you.
Before we get into the match, like again, like with you, you said you were ready to receive the match. I unfortunately didn't have quite the same experience. I think we've talked about it privately too, that I think we've both been spoiled by the same post in a Discord server.
Yeah.
Which really... The match suffered from it for me, honestly. I was really angry that I got spoiled there. Please, people, if you're not in the dedicated channels for your promotions, don't just blurt out results from other promotions that happened basically at the same time. I mean, in this case, it was like a day before, but it was still really annoying. So unfortunately, it didn't quite reach the match of the year level. I think, I mean, it's a match of the year contender for sure, but it didn't quite reach the 5-star level to me, just because when I already know the result, it's infinitely harder for me to get into a match. That's unfortunately just the reality of it, and I can't really combat that either. So that's nothing against the match itself. I think it was brilliant, but I give the lead back to you to talk about the match, I guess.
Tim, you know we're supposed to agree on everything on this podcast. What are you doing? Come on. Obviously that's completely like. People, I think more people need to understand how subjective wrestling is. I see too many times, maybe this is just one of my pet peeves, but I see too many times people just saying, yeah, match was objectively bad. Or no, this match was so bad, Azumi's bad, she doesn't sell. Like a lot of wrestling is subjective, and it just depends on what mood you're in when you're watching it. And this was the perfect match for me. So I'll talk a bit about it. So
right,
the bit
maybe when I say it didn't reach quite that level, I would say like it would probably have a tough time getting into my top 10 right now of the year, but for sure like top 15, top 20 easily. So it's on that level for sure, just not 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean that's still pretty high for a match that barely gets spoken about. By the way,
that's
like how many times have you seen this match get spoken about, like in Match of the Year channels or like discourse or anything like that? It's like one of those hidden matches just because it was like in the semi-finals as well, and it was like on a house show, well, almost like a house show. It wasn't like a big show. I don't know where they were, but it wasn't like in Shinjuku Phase or like one of those arenas. So yeah. The fact that it's reaching your top 15, guys. If you haven't seen it, watch this match. But I guess if you don't want to get spoiled, maybe don't listen to this part, and you can skip ahead. So it all started with Shoko giving Miyu a 619, and that was like the premise of this match was Miyu selling her leg. Why I love this part is because Miyu is one of the few wrestlers on the TJPW roster that can play heelish. By that I mean they don't have heels on in the company, but they have people that need to like be bullies sometime or monsters to give like credible like roadblocks for baby faces to overcome, and typically that's been like Miyu Yamashita, right? She just kicks your head in, stuff like that. Miyu Watanabe is sort of moving into that role for the younger people on the roster. And, her winning the tournament overall is sort of like part of that ascension where she's been cemented as like the next ace for the next 5 or 10 years. And she's the one that's going to give these now rookies and younger talent the challenge that they need to actually get them over. But this was a rare match where Shoko was all over Miyu. And that was a really interesting aspect to this because we saw how good Miyu's selling was. So the thing about Miyu's selling is she really took her time. She let everything breathe. Like, how many times did you see her like stop, roll out of the ring? She would maybe sometimes even take the whole 20 count. So one of the biggest criticisms you might have of this match is it was too slow. For me, this is maybe one of the few instances the slowness actually made it better. Normally I'm not into like the slow aspects of matches and I just like boom boom, but this one worked perfectly because of how she was selling the injury she had to her leg. I don't know if you liked those slow portions or.
No, I agree. I think slow selling, I guess, of a body part can really add to a match, and I thought it never got like boring or anything. So
yeah, exactly.
Kept my attention
sort of like
the entire time.
So. Yeah. Miyu let each move speak for itself. Like every move that happened to Miyu mattered. It meant something, and I think that's an important part of pro wrestling to keep the audience engaged. So when she like goes back into the ring, again another awesome aspect of this match, Shoko just attacks her. She wants to win this match. It's a semi-final match. It means she cares about winning this match, even though Shoko's not a heel. She attacks. She's relentless with it. She does a DDT. She tries to go for another diving senton, but Miyu blocks it. The way she blocks it is with her injured legs. So she screams and she needs time again. She goes outside the ring. And Shoko, because she had her move blocked, she doesn't just stand there wait for Miyu. She's selling it as well. She goes to the opposite side of the ring. And they're both standing outside the ring on opposite corners, both taking their time. And they're like, oh, that must have hurt both wrestlers. Which is, yes, it should hurt both wrestlers. She blocked a diving senton with her injured legs.
Right.
So all of this was I'm so excited. My arms are literally everywhere right now. So all of this worked to build up the tension. I wanted to see where the match was going. I never lost the tension. I was locked the fuck in emotionally. And I put that solely down to Miyu's selling and the pacing of the match. And I think there are very few wrestlers in the world who could have made me lock in to this specific match at this point. And I think Miyu is one of them. There was some beautiful grappling as well. Like speaking up like a variety of matches. Like Miyu avoided a 619 and then Shoko went for a European clutch. Miyu has one of the best power slams in the world. Just the way she, like Randy Orton's power slam and everyone's like, oh my God, beautiful, clean. Miyu's power slam is actually probably the best in the world. Beautiful. And then so the next part, I can't put enough emphasis on this next moment and why this match went up several notches just because of this one part of the match. So Miyu tried to go for a teardrop, but something happened. I don't know what happened, but Shoko dropped off of Miyu's shoulders and Miyu lost her balance. And Miyu's just sitting there on the floor, just looking at Shoko, and Shoko just looks back. So I can't tell what's real or not, and I guess you can call me Mark, I don't care. The fact I have no idea what happened is like I watched a ton of wrestling. The fact I have no idea what happened makes me love this match even more. The fact that you can like dispel that, like I don't know anything was like, did she actually hurt herself? Was she like thinking, oh, Shoko needs to jump on me? Did they get lost in the match? Was Shoko trying to think about whether Mia was actually hurt or not? Or was she just selling the fact that she couldn't lift her up because of her injured leg? No matter what it is, I can't figure it out, and that makes me love it more. Did did that moment register for you, or did you think something went wrong? Or
I took it as like the last thing you said, essentially.
that she couldn't lift her up?
Yeah, I think like Mio realized that her leg was so fucked that she can't do anything anymore, and
Yes,
maybe like almost like a giving up moment. In that moment for her, and that's what I thought a bit. Like she internally
and I
just
love that.
realized she's at a point where she just can't go anymore, and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to fight Shoko, and she can't even lift her up anymore.
And the fact that that's like that is like a perfectly reasonable explanation of what happened, and the fact that that is a perfectly reasonable explanation is another reason why I'm like, yeah, that it could work that way. And the way Miyu sold it is like she had to like do sharp intakes of breaths. I don't know if you like noticed that she was like breathing really heavily. Like first they stare at each other for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then Miyu starts breathing heavily as if she's broken something. I legitimately thought she broke something because of those heavy breaths, because those are like the breaths you do like when you've like broken a bone and you're sort of like in shock. And it's just like, that's the sort of selling that's insane selling to me. And the part that brings it all together is Shoko not giving a fuck. She just she looks at her and she's like, fuck it, and she just fucking slams her in a Northern Lights suplex. I was ready to go to heaven literally after that moment in the match. So yeah, that's probably the best selling that I've seen almost this year for my liking, at least. So it made me believe that Miyu was literally fighting through hell in this match to like overcome Shoko, and this was Shoko like finally overcoming Miyu as well.
Right.
And what added to it was Miyu actually getting injured. So her eye was like cut up, and she was like bleeding from the eye. So by the end of the match, you're like, holy fuck, she went through everything to win that match. She was crying in her post-match promo after she finally pinned Shoko. And it was only one teardrop, by the way, that finished the match. Another underrated thing.
Yeah.
Just struggling for a long time, and then she hits the laser beam chop that she'd attempted a few times in the match, but she never successfully hit. Then the teardrop, one finisher to win the match. Cinema, I don't know. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah, no, it's exactly like you mentioned earlier that Shoko was relentless, right? That's like the one word I got for like, especially for Shoko's performance in this match, which I thought was also excellent. Of course, I mean Shoko is also always excellent. So
Shoko was awesome.
Yeah. I think that
Shoko was the perfect dance. Like I've been obviously hyping up Miyu a lot, but Shoko was the perfect dance partner for Miyu in this match.
Yeah, it's really true. And like she has probably the best, like I don't know, you called it 619 earlier, the Tiger Feint kick or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think there was like one part of the match where she just did like 3, 4, 5 in a row, like just relentless, one. And you normally don't see that with a move like the 619, right? It doesn't really suit itself really to do that with.
No, it's more a finisher.
It worked perfectly here because Shoko is just so fast with it, and she does it so flawlessly and effortlessly, I guess, that I really love that spot as well. I think like the combination Miyu does, I'm sorry I don't have the move names like you did. What was it? Laser beam?
Yeah, so she does a laser beam chop.
Yeah. And then like the. Do you mean that top rope with that, or that avalanche?
Oh, that's she was going for the teardrop. Yeah, she like.
Okay.
Teardrop's the one in the Canadian hold, I guess, Canadian backbreaker sort of hold, and then she like turns around and drops her.
Yeah. I love that finish as well. Did she do the avalanche one in the finals?
She did So in the finals,
she didn't manage to do it in the semifinals, I guess. And then in the finals she did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have much more to say about it. I totally agree with everything you said. I think you what do you call it? You you
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah,
I
you
was
hit
perfectly
the
correct.
nail on the head.
Yeah,
I don't really have much more to add. Like I said, I would have loved to watch it unspoiled. I probably would have loved it even more then. But I had a lot of fun watching it.
Cool. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, definitely give it a watch. One of my favorite matches of the year. Don't be biased because it's Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. It is a very, very good match, and they do have very, very good matches. So even if most of their shows are sort of more fun, more for the live crowd, there are still definitely some bangers. And then Miyu went on to the final to face Arisu Endo, and so the thing about Endo is she's a really good underdog babyface. That's mainly what she does really well. And as you know, like she's a very strong worker, one of the better workers in the company. And obviously because of that, Mia had to flip back to being like a bully into bully mode because that's what she does best. And so despite her, almost struggling through hell against Shoko, she was definitely in a more heelish mode in the final. She worked Arisu over with bear hugs, backbreakers, elbows to the lower back, which is, I always love that move. I mean, do you know who Hideki Suzuki is? Who was in NXT coach? And he's now, in All Japan, So he bullies people in All Japan with that elbow to the, it just looks awesome every time. So Miyu picking that move up is really cool. The crowd got really behind Arisu. Like she prevented a giant swing with a cradle. She tried to lock in the camel clutch, but Miyu powers her up and then starts swinging her around. So, again, shades of that powerhouse bully. And so on the other hand, so when I thought Miyu's selling was amazing in semi-final, Arisu's selling in this match was fucking excellent. She was like wobbling after Miyu's double-handed chops. So like firing her up. Her legs were wobbly. She like sold Miyu's power a lot. And both of them worked to make Miyu feel like a completely believable like brick wall for Arisu, which is the best role of both wrestlers, I think. So they married well together. Miyu picked her up for a Canadian backbreaker. So this is the move you're talking about. They climb the top rope, and then she flips her over for an avalanche like Oklahoma slam. So it wasn't a teardrop; it was like an Oklahoma slam. When she was like,
right. She flipped her from one position into the other. Right. I forgot to take notes for this one. I'm sorry, but that's the one I meant where she flipped her around. That looked impressive as fuck.
Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah. Then after Arisu flees from the teardrop, she runs the ropes and then she gets caught with again picture perfect, beautiful power slam from me. Arisu hits the super kick into the Juno Akite, which is the spinning cutter, her finisher. But Miyu lands instead of getting slammed. And then she just hits her with a laser beam, a chop to the back. Miyu's facial expressions, again, one of the best in the business. She feels she's on the edge of winning. She hits another laser beam, this time to the front, into a final teardrop. And then she collapses on Arisu for the 3 count. So this was another good match. I don't think it was as good as Shoko, but I still thought this was absolutely one of the best matches in TJPW in the year as well. I thought this one. So 2 really good matches back-to-back from you.
Yeah, I thought it didn't quite reach the level that the Shoko match did, but very, very good as well. And I thought you could really like one thing I noticed, like you said, she was more in the bully role in the finals itself, and you could really hear it in the crowd as well. Like Arisu,
Yes, exactly.
they really got behind Arisu. I thought during the finals. Which, Miyu is a popular worker there too. I thought I was surprised that she wasn't as overly popular anymore as I experienced when I saw her live. But it makes perfect sense what you said earlier.
You're cutting out.
Yeah,
but if it's your local,
I have
then
a bit of
fine.
a high ping here when I click on my connection thing. I hope. Yeah, I think locally it's got everything. Now, what I was saying is. Like what you said earlier makes sense that she's doing more of a bully role in the company in general. And I think that was kind of reflected in the crowd reactions she got because she was like a very beloved. I had the feeling when I saw her live at Hurricane Hall that she was more of a crowd favorite than she came across as in these finals.
Yeah.
And that makes sense if she's just being more of a bully now. And
she's going to be the next Yamashita.
Yeah, and it also makes sense for the match structure here, right? That she tries to get Risu Endo cheered, and she did brilliantly. So yeah.
So yeah, that's the TJPW update. So Mia's challenging Mizuki at Wrestle Princess 6 on the 20th of September. And the tag titles are also on the card. It's Overeats, which is Yuki Kamifuku and Wakana Uehara against Kyoraku Kyome, which is Hyper Misao and Shoko Nakajima. I think there are some other. I didn't. That was off the top of my head, so I now actually have to look at the card for the other for the other matches. Which Yu is also going to be in TJPW, not on that card, but she is going to face Miyu Yamashita and Shoko Nakajima, which will be her first appearance in 7 years in TJPW before she retires on 28th of December. So,
yeah, that's a retirement tour, basically, right?
Yeah, and I guess the last news on TJPW is Haruna Neko is graduating, so she's retiring from wrestling. So,
oh, yeah.
I think the promotions... Yeah, go on.
What do you think about her?
Haruna Neko?
Yeah.
You're asking me what I think. That's like asking me what I think about Wakatsuya Koyama. It's like, I mean, yeah, cool. Okay, no, it's not cool. It's retiring, but she's a cool. No. I mean, I like her on the undercard, but I don't really have an opinion of her.
she had like two bad knee injuries or something.
Yes. Yeah. So what happened was she suffered a knee injury in 2023, and she got knee surgery, and then she was out for a year. And then in May this year, she had another knee injury causing another surgery. Yeah, her surgery was successful, but she just decided it's been 7 years. This is my second knee surgery, so she wants to do something different.
Now, I'm just asking because for some reason she's like one of my like terrible wrestlers, guilty pleasure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One of my favorites in that cringe. Terrible wrestler.
No, okay, I agree with you there. Like, it's kind of cute. She's jumping around and clawing at people.
Yeah, she's kind of fun to watch sometimes. I don't know. I find her endearing, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, I thought you were like, hey, do you think she should be Wrestler of the Year? Like, what are you asking me, Tim?
No.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, TJPW just as a whole, they're doing. I mean, they haven't booked a lot of Korokans because their attendance was a bit down. I think that the Tokyo Princess Cup Finals was like their second Korokan of the year, and they're doing another one soon. But the shows overall have been pretty good. I've been enjoying the action more than I think I did last year, and I love Miyu Watanabe, so if she wins the title again, then I'm kind of all in. And I've also really been getting into Hyper Misao. That's probably because of the hype shows. People don't really understand those hype shows because they watch them without translations and they're in Japanese. So it's like, yeah, it's like trying to read a book in a language you don't read, right? Like that makes no sense. You wouldn't pick up a book in, I don't know, Swahili and then be like, oh, this book's bad.
Yeah, but honestly, so. I think I haven't watched the latest one yet, but I thought the previous ones were, I've never really had problems grasping what was going on. Like, of course, I couldn't follow word for word, like exactly what's going on, but like the grand scheme of things, like the stories behind the matches, were always pretty clear to me. Yeah.
Well, especially the first one, because the first one had like time traveling. It was a very like simple concept to see.
Right.
That they were like repeating the same matches again and again until like it kind of went their way.
Exactly.
But the second one, you probably needed some translations for because it was a bit like, what's going on? They're just like fighting crime. The third one, you probably definitely need translations for because there's like a big plot device.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, yeah. So anyway, those sort of shows like help me get into the characters more and help make the matches better. So, all right. Should we do Marigold?
Yes, everyone's favorite.
All right. Do you want to know what's happening in Marigold, Tim?
Absolutely.
Your favorite promotion, Rossi Ogawa's promotion? Okay, I have a question. Do you protest that promotion because of Rossi Ogawa, or do you just not like the wrestlers?
No, I like the wrestlers. I don't really dislike Marigold as like I don't I don't really know how to say this. Obviously, I'm not a big Rossi fan. Obviously, I'm not a big Sunny fan. Obviously, I'm not a big Tom Fane fan or whatever. So that's obviously a big hurdle, but like, I mean, Mirai was one of my favorites in Stardom when she was still there. Mayu, obviously, Utami. I love all of these wrestlers, so it's got absolutely nothing to do with that. I one thing I'm gonna get onto one thing later that may have also kept me from really following it as closely as I maybe should, but I'm gonna talk about it later, maybe when we get into like some of the wrestlers.
Okay, fine. All right, I'll just kick off here. And well, the Dreamstar has it's been pretty mid, especially after the 5-star. It's kind of hard not to compare them to each other. The Dreamstar schedule was elongated over like 2 months. I think Miko Ono had like a month in between star block matches, so that schedule kind of made it a bit weird. And also, they very rarely, I'm trying to think if there was any, maybe on like a Shinjuku face, they very rarely main evented a show. It was actually always like a six woman tag match that main evented the show. Just a random one. So that kind of let you know the level that the Dreamstar matches were going to be at. They were wrestled at like a house show level almost. So I think that part was kind of disappointing. Like most of the good matches came in Korakuen Hall or like the opening night, and I watched every night, and there was pretty much nothing to recommend on the interim nights. I'm trying to think if there was like there's like one or two, but nothing you need to go out of your way to see. So overall, I kind of a bit disappointed in the tournament. Also, one block was stacked. So just to go over the blocks, the Dream block had Utami, obviously the champion, Victoria Yuzuki, Mayu Iwatani, Kuki Amare, Seri Yamaoka, Maria Reyaseto, and Chiaki. That's what I consider the stacked group. Yeah. And then the star block had Miku, okay, she's awesome. Mai Sakurai, Mirai, awesome. Nagisa Nozaki, Misa Matsui, good. Gotchka, Chanyota, and Kazuna Tanaka. So just a bit too many mid-carders. Like, they probably should have spread out like Yuzuki and Seri maybe. But yeah, overall, I think the quality of the tournament wasn't great, even though there were some outstanding matches. Yeah, do you have any feelings on any of those wrestlers? I think you watched some matches.
Yeah. I did watch like most of the, was it the last day? Wait, the show with Mayu and Utami. No, that was like
Korakuen Hall. Yeah,
Korakuen Hall. I think like okay, so not only the ones I mentioned. I think there's a lot of I also really like Miku Aono. I really like Shosuki. Is she injured? She's injured, I think. Right?
She is currently injured. She came back briefly to beat up Ryoko Sakamura, who left the company after.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's now Ishikawa? She's not in the tournament either. She's like
sorry, who?
Now Ishikawa. She's like
she's just doing some comedy stuff on the lower card. Yeah. But she's not Gigaton anymore, which is amazing. So
she's like one of those wrestlers that's always been very endearing to me. Have you ever seen Now versus Tam?
I haven't. No, that's maybe one for a future non-weekly or at the end of a weekly
we
one.
Could do that, because Now was like she used to be known as the Tam Nakano cosplayer in like her micro indie where she was always like imitating Tam, I guess. So she came to Tam basically. It's a fun story. We will talk about it another time. But ever since that match, she's been very endearing to me. I've been kind of disappointed that she's just a super prelim comedy wrestler in Marigold. I thought maybe Rossi could do more with her, but apparently not.
No.
One thing, like I'm not completely up to date with the standings of the blocks. I'm very surprised by some of the booking, I thought. Like I'm basically up to date to the standings that you wrote into the Social Suplex newsletter, right?
Yes, it's been updated now. Oh, I probably should have shared those with you actually.
So that's probably
let me
one
put it
or
in,
2 weeks out of date. I don't
Yes, there you go. I sent it in the chat.
know. Okay. Let me have a quick look then. Okay, it's looking a bit better than it was when I typed it into the
there
newsletter.
is something I'm gonna.
I was very surprised. Like Mirai was standing, for example.
Oh no! Don't worry, Tim. I'm gonna crash out a bit Mirai later. So you give your take first.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised when Maria was standing. I was kind of surprised how well Yusuke was doing. But I guess she's getting the ultra push or something right now.
She's getting pushed, and she probably deserves it. She's one of the better workers on the roster.
Yeah, and yeah, the rest is kind of like my main surprise when I did the newsletter the other day. The standings at that point was like Mirai had I think she was 1-2-1 at that point, maybe.
She was, yeah.
And that was really weird to me.
Do you want to know what's worse?
Yeah. So maybe
yeah.
should we just really quick tell our listeners that these are spoilers? I guess it aired today. You told me, or today or tomorrow?
The match was on Sunday, but the VOD went up today.
The VOD went up today. Yeah, so it's not really a spoiler. So maybe we should have said that at the start, but we are recording on Tuesday, the 9th September 9th, and apparently they released the VODs delayed, so some of these standings you may not have known about. So if you haven't watched the matches yet, close your ears or something, skip 10 seconds or whatever.
Yes. And why are you listening to a weekly podcast? But
right.
Yes. Okay, so in the Dream block, Utami's on 9 points, record of 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. I'll just say wins, losses, and draws in that order, so I don't have to say that every time. So Utami 9 points, 4-1-1. Yuzuki 9 points, 4-1-1. Mayu 8 points, 3-1-2. Kuki 6 points, 3 wins, 3 losses. Seri Yamaoka 6 points, 3 wins, 3 losses. Maria has got 4 points, 2 wins, and 4 losses. So remember that she was replacing Senka Katsuki from Marvelous, who was admitted to hospital with pneumonia. So I don't know if that would have been Senka's total at the end, but it's possible. I mean, she is a rookie. And Maria's a heel now, so she can kind of eat a lot of pins, and she does in Marvelous anyway, so it's whatever.
Did I mention that earlier, that I was surprised about her?
Yeah, you are, yeah. So, okay. Yeah, so she does eat a lot of pins nowadays because she's a heel. She's not push as much. Okay. Rhea Seto, 3 points, 1 win, 4 losses, 1 draw, and she just turned heel, which I'll maybe complain about later. And then Chiaki, 3 points, 1 win, 4 losses, 1 draw. So both of Darkness Revolution in that block are at the bottom with 4 losses. And then in Star block, Miko Ono's topping the block heading into the final. 9 points, 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Mai Sakurai, 8 points, 4 wins, 2 losses. Mirai, 7 points, 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Nagisa Nozaki, 7 points, 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Misa Matsui, 6 points, 3 wins, 3 losses. Chikagoto, 5 points, 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Chanyota, 4 points with 4 losses, so 2 wins and 4 losses, which is maybe a bit surprising. And then Kazuna Tanaka was the pin eater in this group with 2 points, 1 win, 5 losses.
All right.
So you said you were surprised by some people.
Yeah, I mean, mainly Mirai. We're gonna talk about her now, I guess. These are the standings after the. These are the final block standings. Is it that?
Before the final, yes.
Before the final. How many people do advance?
So, okay, here we go. So, if the format is like last year, then it's just 1 winner from each block. Mm-hmm. And then they face each other in a final at the end of the show.
Okay.
So that's what happened last year.
Yeah.
I spent an hour trying to search for whether the format of this had changed. The reason why is because Mirai, she won her match on 7th September to put her on 7 points, but Miku won her match straight after to go on 9 points. Mm-hmm. And on the final night, Miku is facing Mai Sakurai, who's on 8 points. So there is no combination of results in which Mirai can play spoiler to Miku or Mai Sakurai, which means she was eliminated on a house show. Okay, that's not even the worst part. The worst part is no one has said anything about it. It wasn't in backstage comments. I can't find any transcripts. Mirai hasn't addressed it, so I don't actually know if she's eliminated or if they're doing some weird format that I don't know about. But if it's the same format, she's been eliminated on a house show before the final.
That's strange.
Yes. So I'm just hoping it's a different format. I'm just wrong. So that's what I'm hoping for. Because on the other block, Rossi has thought about it, because obviously it's got all his favorites in there, so he hasn't forgotten how to book the dream block. Because Mayu could win still, Yuzuki could still win, and Utami could still win. There's three possibilities there. It doesn't all just come down to one match like in the star block. I think star block was all the people he doesn't really care about except Mai Sakurai.
Seems like it.
Maybe Mai Sakurai is probably just going to win. But yeah, that was just such a weird decision when I saw Miku just win, because she could have had a draw on that match, and then that would have meant all three of them could win, which is what you want in a final night, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
was Mai Sakurai in the finals last year?
she was against Utami, right?
Right. Okay, I got that right.
I believe so. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of baffling, to be honest. I mean, I don't know how Mirai's been doing since the last time I really followed the promotion.
I feel like she's been one of the best. She's so good.
She's so good. I
she
mean how she's been booked with, how she's been doing.
Oh, well, I mean, you saw the Utami match, right? Or the title match on the big, what was it, Yogi?
Don't think I saw that one yet.
Okay. So they beat the shit out of each other on all the preview tags, and going into it, I legit thought they were going to deliver like a match of the year contender because of how much they were beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And then they only went like 15 minutes or something, and it was still a really good match, but I was like, I kind of like the preview tags more.
Oh, I heard about that. That's why I skipped it, I think, because everyone said, yeah, it's not as good as...
Yeah, and I think that's sort of like an analogy for how she's been booked, I think.
Okay.
Just that match. Like, she just hasn't been given that ultra push, I guess, which a lot of people want to see. I hope she gets the red belt at least one day, so we'll see.
So, yeah. Okay, other things. I mean, I watched the Utami and Mayu match. That was great.
Yeah.
Of course. What else to expect? I watched the Yuzuki and Seri match that you told me about earlier.
Yep.
I also watched the Yuzuki Kuki match. Was that Seri and Kuki? Seri and Kuki I watched, I think. It was Yuzuki and Maria that I watched too. Yeah, exactly. So one thing I wanted to maybe say, like earlier when I teased another wrestler. So the one thing, I've seen Seri's debut, right? That was January 3rd.
Yeah.
The much hyped super rookie. And I thought she was great. She wrestled Mirai, pretty sure.
Yep.
And I thought that was awesome, especially live in the venue. I honestly thought people were heavily underrating it online when I read after.
Agreed.
I was surprised how little hype it got because it was really, really good. And she also has like this great look and stuff, right? So then I come back to the promotion like 9 months later, and she's a fucking Nanai Takahashi cosplayer. Like, I was fucking losing my mind over that. That's like, oh my god, that was so bad. I don't want to be mean to anyone, okay? I'm like, this podcast is not about shitting on wrestlers or whatever, but like,
no.
Nanai Takahashi cosplay is like so fucking, like, I don't know if you know this about me personally, but like, I'm a huge...
You're not a Nanai fan, right?
I hate Nanai. I literally hated Nanai always. She was like maybe also one of the things that kept me from really getting into Marigold, because she was always like such a huge force in the promotion.
What happened? What did she do to you, Tim?
Well, she's kind of like... I guess it stems from her stint in Stardom. I hated how she was like, how dominant she was, how dominant she was booked. I mean, I guess it's not her fault for being booked strongly. I don't think that goes without like buddying up with her old pal Rossi there and getting a bit of influence that way. I never liked her stick anyway, though. Her, like, fucking yelling all match long and shit.
You're not a Passion Injection fan?
No, I'm sorry. I hated, like, there was just, like, a period of time where she basically beat everyone that I liked. And I hated that so much. Yeah. There was like the biggest example for that was like around Christmas 2022, I want to say. So Tam Nakano had gotten the big Wrestle Kingdom match with Kairi. They announced that like the choice for Kairi's IWGP defense at the Tokyo Dome would be Tam Nakano. And in the build-up to the match, or in the weeks building up to the match, Nanae Takahashi beat Tam Nakano, I think, like 3 times in a row. She beat the Cosmic Angels with you in what's it called? In a handicap match, 3v2. So Cosmic Angels were 3, and Nanae and you beat them as the 2. That was in the build-up to the Dream Queendom show, where Natsupoi and Tam had the tag team belts, where you and Nanae also beat them in like 15 minutes without much of a chance for Natsupoi and Tam Nakano. And that was basically how Tam was built up to the Tokyo Dome match, by being beaten over and over again by Nanae Takahashi. And that like left such a bad taste in my mouth overall. And
I feel like we've just done therapy on podcast for free.
Yeah, but
it sounds traumatic.
So when I see Sari coming out here in her fucking Nanae cosplay, that's instant like, holy shit, what are they doing with her? And it's not like, I mean, me hating Nanae is like, I realize that I'm pretty much on an island with that. A lot of people really love Nanae and her passion shit and stuff, but like the look is bad too. It's been outdated like 20 years ago probably. She just never changed it. Why would you fucking think it would be a good idea for like to wear this fucking gear in 2025? Like
so one thing is so it obviously looks bad. First of all, we can agree on that. But she obviously looks up to Nanae. Like I think at one point she said she was about to quit wrestling, and Nanae, spoke her out of it. So one of it is like a, I don't know, like a respect thing.
I mean, obviously, I understand.
Yeah, but it does look bad. Like not a lot of things in wrestling are objective. This one is. It just looks bad. Like, but what do you think of her wrestling?
My another part of it is I watched her with Yusuke, right? I watched her with Kuki. She lost both matches. What kind of Nanae cosplay is that?
Yeah,
you gotta win about 99.9% of all matches in your career. That's the Nanae cosplay. Otherwise, if you're losing to these like rookies like Kuki or whatever, that's a terrible Nanae cosplay. Anyway,
amateur.
I think she's good. I think she's very good actually. The match against Yuzuki I liked a lot. I think she does a lot of awesome like power spots.
Yes, exactly. Suplexes, yeah.
Right, yeah. And she
I think she has an amateur wrestling background, so
that kind of what it looked like, yeah. She did like a spinebuster type move to Yuzuki at one point that looked freaking awesome. It kind of looked a bit like she DDT'd herself, to be honest. But ignoring that, it was an awesome like spinebuster thing she did. So
one thing I'm going to steal from Skinny Puff, because I didn't see anyone else say it. She is actually a dumb jock wrestler. Like she just does.
Yeah.
The craziest shit. So for a while, so you might not have seen it because I think she stopped doing it. She used to do a spear, and the way she bumped was literally on the top of her head. She would try to do like a forward flip on the spear, but never get all the way through. So she would spike herself on the spear. She just does the dumbest shit, like, which is awesome. Like I like watching it, but damn.
Yeah.
But she's very good at grappling. I kind of want her to lean more into it just because she's so good at it. So that's why when she's in the ring with like Senka, That's why there's like fireworks, because they're both very good grapplers and they're rookies and they hate each other. That's why I just love to see them on the mat.
Oh yeah.
I could watch like a 30-minute match of them on the mat.
I wanna
When she
watch
tries
that.
to do other more flashy stuff, apart from suplexes, she does very well, like power spots. Other stuff she's not great at yet. You can still she's quite green on those things, but she's going to be very good. You can tell.
Right. No, I agree with that. I'm rooting for her too. Like the whole fucking Danai cosplay thing is obviously in jest by me. I think it looks terrible for real, but I'm not holding it against her in reality. I was just like being a gimmick.
Yep. Nice. Any other takes?
Yuzuki, I think looks good. I mean, I know she's good. She's always been like the touted, like the, what do they call it, Wonder Rookie or whatever.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I never believed that, and she's
Stardom.
proved me wrong. So
Yeah, I thought she was, of that Stardom class, she was at the time when she was in Stardom, I thought she was clearly the best one. So I kind of understood that. Now that we're a bit further in, I think she may have been caught up by... I mean, that was basically the class with Aya Sakura, right? And Hanako. And was Sayaka Kurara already in that class? I'm not sure. I would at this
I think they're
point...
the same class, right?
Yeah, I would at this point probably put Aya and Sayaka at least on her level, if not above her. But I still think Yuzuki looked good in the matches I watched. Especially against Seri, I thought. She has some really cool like kick combinations and stuff that I thought really stood out to me, and thought she looked really good.
Yeah, I would put Yuzuki above both Sayaka and Sakura. I think she's very good. Like she, on almost every show I watch, she is probably like one of the highlights. She used to do also the dumb jock thing where she would like do dives and fall on almost on her head, but she's like sort of reined it all in and become a lot more controlled. Where she's just like
Oh yeah, I remember that from the Marigold shows I watched live. She did some unhinged dive shit.
But she's now controlled it, and she's just a very good wrestler now. So I'm very happy she's on 9 points. So she could win the Dream Block. So could, I don't know if we mentioned who could win. So it's up between Utami, Victoria, Yuzuki, and Mayu Iwatani. I think Mayu is probably just winning. I think
maybe. I don't think Utami is right as the champion.
Because they have a sumo hall show in October. So. They need a big match, and I think they just do Mayu for that match. Because like, who else would Rossi trust that main event with? Like, would he trust Yuzuki? Probably not. Would he trust Miku? No. Would he trust Mai Sakurai in a double title match? I don't know.
I read earlier, like in the newsletter. Shoutouts, by the way. New issue is out today. So you said, for the big show last year, they had like Io, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the Sumo show right around the time that WWE also has it Japan?
Yeah.
Like you kind of wrote that it's not going to be the case this year, that they're getting anyone from WWE.
No,
Did I read that right?
What I wrote was people always think there's going to be like a massive match to save it, and one of these shows it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not going to get like Io versus Mayu like every single match. Like I think sometimes people sort of like overhyping the WWE connection. I think is sort of like more what I was trying to say.
That's probably true.
Like WWE aren't going to bail Rossi out on every single big show. Is basically what I'll say.
That's true.
But if they're in Japan at the same time, I mean, it kind of just makes sense. So yeah, maybe they just throw Mayu and Io on that show.
I think maybe
Julia and Utami or something.
Yeah, that was my thought. Maybe they won't give them Io, but at least they send like Julia over or something.
Yeah,
it's like still
maybe when I wrote that, the WWE show hadn't been announced. So I don't actually know.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's probably enough of Marigold. I think.
Probably, maybe.
So yeah, there's 5 people that are in contention to win. It's Utami, Yuzuki, Mayu, Miku, and Mai Sakurai, and maybe Mirai if they figure out some weird format that I don't know about. So we'll see. And that show is on 14th of September.
Right.
Cool. Okay, how much you want to talk about Sendai Girls?
I have a few quick thoughts maybe.
You go then.
I wouldn't go match by match, right? Do you want to go match by match?
No.
I think most of them are skippable. I think one overarching thought about the show was I think that Sendai Girls is now a entrance company. There was so many like entrances that took forever.
For context,
yeah,
just for context, this was 24th of August,
Oh, yeah,
2025. No, it's okay. Senjo the biggest. So it was at Zebio Arena, which is, so I think it's got 4,000 capacity and it can have maybe 5,000 in some configurations for basketball, but it probably is 4,000 capacity. They announced 3,920, which there's no chance that actually happened.
That's gonna be a
but from looking at it, like just seeing the arena, they probably did outdraw New Japan's G1 tour stop in 2024, which has 2,600. So they probably did do the biggest attendance in that arena. Either way, a very, very impressive number for what I thought was kind of a subpar card before going into it. And afterwards, I did enjoy some of the matches, but you could tell this was more about the spectacle rather than the actual wrestling on the show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but what I was gonna say is just I think there were a lot of like acts on this card that are mainly like showy comedy acts. I don't know. Like I gotta be honest, at some point watching it, I didn't watch it until like last Sunday. I actually fell asleep during probably at some point during the Sasadango machine match, maybe during.
So one thing I forgot to mention is part of the attendances there were a lot of comps. So during the promos they mentioned a lot about school children being admitted to for free.
Okay.
So they had like a lot of like kids and stuff like that. So there were probably a lot of people in the audience that hadn't seen wrestling, which is probably why Micah Satomura decided to stack it up with people like Sasadango Machine, who is from like the neighboring prefecture in Nagata and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, and there was a Kuroshio Tokyo Japan match with like
God
all
almighty.
that stuff, which I slept through, luckily. So whatever.
That's a really good choice.
I was kind of in and out of sleep the entire time. Like I remember Kuroshio's endlessly long entrance, which is obviously his gimmick. That's all he does. I remember like waking up to that and just falling asleep again. I don't know. No, I did see the most important bits of the show, I think.
So the
like
notable
this middle
things were
stretch, I kind of like dozed off. But kind of another overarching thought to me was for the first match, I thought I was kind of sad that Starlight Kid never took the invitation from Natsupoi to join the Cosmic Angels, because they're such a perfect pairing and they've worked so great together, and they're such a perfect tag team, like just stylistically, like vibes, just from the vibes and everything, it just fit perfectly. And
agree,
yeah, they should do that more often, tag together and fight each other more often too. They're just perfect for each other, I guess. I kind of really loved that match. It was just good vibes, front to back. Second match, I think Aya I was a bit surprised that she lost the title, honestly. Maybe that was the punishment for getting her gear on the last show or whatever. I think Yuna probably has potential. I mean, it's the junior title, yeah. She kind of always looks like a scared deer, or like a deer in the headlights to me.
Yep.
But she's not bad. She's probably a good junior champion for them. Other than that, I thought the hardcore match was crazy at some points. Like that spot they always do. Like Risa Serra and Dash always do that spot where someone climbs the ladder in the ring and one tips it over and the other one just falls like 20 feet to the outside, like I don't know, 10 meters through a table on the outside. That always gives me a heart attack, and it can't be a great bump to take, right? I don't know how
that must suck.
Dash takes it so often. I thought there was a horrific bump with Risa Serra in the middle when she was on the table, and Aja Kong and Dash each climbed the ladder and they tried. I guess the plan was to land on her at the same time, but it was mistimed and Aja like jumped way too early. So Aja landed first, and like the table didn't break, and then the table landed on top of Risa, and then Dash came down on her, and it just looked fucking horrific. Must have been painful as shit. And then but overall it was like your typical Dash Chisako hardcore match, which was fun. Kind of ruled, honestly. The Sari vs Iwata match, I kind of expected more, to be honest. I thought it had...
Don't get me started on this match.
I thought it still had the hallmarks of like both workers' best things. Like Iwata had some brutal kicks, which I always pop for. But all in all, it kind of like was over before it really like kind of got going. I don't know. Wasn't bad.
The thing about Sendai Girls is the booking is not great.
Oh yeah, I mean Iwata was never gonna win. I never.
She's challenging Hashimoto on the next big show.
It doesn't matter. You think she's gonna win?
No, but it's just kind of weird. Like you want people to believe that she might win, but no, she just gets crushed by Sari in under 10 minutes. Like, I'm a Sari fan, and even I watched it like, oh my god, like 9 minutes 22 this match.
It's crazy. It's brutal. Yeah, she's a loser, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
And finally, I thought the main event was kind of great. Actually, I thought
the main event was awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised every time I see Lena Cross. I'm kind of surprised every time I see her that she's not like a bigger topic of conversation for like Western wrestlers that could get signed somewhere.
She was great in this match.
She apparently had like TNA and AW matches this year, but yeah, I thought so too. She has like her work is like extraordinarily like crisp, and her like running knees and her kicks are all like really, really good for someone who is just never really mentioned anywhere as a possible great signing for some of the American promotions, I guess. And
I think she wants to get signed as well, from what I've seen on social media. So
probably, yeah. Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a good show. I thought it wasn't as good as the last big Sendai Girls show I watched, or the last two. I think of all the Sendai Girls shows I watched this year, it was probably the weakest, honestly. But the main event ruled, and the hardcore match was fun as always, and the opener was good vibes. That's basically my main overarching takeaways. So I'm sorry for talking for an eternity, Hugo. Please.
No, it's fine. So I mean, all I said was the show the week after, it was at Shinkiba First Ring. That show had better wrestling than this show. So for wrestling, this show wasn't really anything to go out your way to see. It was mostly about how much Sendai Girls drew in that arena. Some of the booking was weird. This was kind of a random match at the top, but I thought it was awesome. Mainly because I really love Vayne as well.
Oh yeah.
She was like, normally she's like quite stiff with like slaps and forearms in a lot of her matches, but when she wants to go all out, she just does all the athletic shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you could tell here she wanted to wow the crowd, who might not be as familiar with like Sendai Girls and wrestling in general. Like, she was doing moonsaults. Lena Cross was doing Topic on Heroes. I was like super surprised at how much the challengers were actually getting. And the finish was awesome as well. Like Hashimoto last ride to the big Lena Cross. So
yeah.
No, excellent main event. I don't think there's...
Yeah, that's actually a good point that I didn't really mention. Like the amount like Hashimoto and even you sold for Vanya and Cross was really kind of a big positive surprise.
I was surprised.
Yeah, but it was great. Yeah, really good match.
Cool. All right, should we blast through my primers? And I promise I'll keep it short. We got 4 of them.
Okay, I have on the docket real quick. I just wanted to I put the Us Academy story last second. It's just I wanted just your opinion on how Shida looked and how their tag match was, like Shuri and Shida together, how they looked.
So it was Hikaru Shida and Syuri. I think it was their first time teaming together or being on the same team, because there was a 6 women in 2019. So since 2019, oh my! I almost said 4 years. I thought it was 2023. That is crazy. It is 2025, so 6 years ago. And they were against Adrikong and Sonoko Kato, who's on her retirement road. So she's retiring 23rd of November. So she's basically having all of the big matches that she wants to have. So a few weeks earlier, they were in a big arena. They only drew 700 still. But she had a death match, a light tubes death match with Jun Kasai
awesome.
and Rina Yamashita.
Oh yeah, I read about that one.
Yeah, that match was kind of awesome. I like that match a lot. So Shida looked pretty good. I don't think she was like moving fast or anything, but like her strikes were really good. So they had a lot of like, snap to them, and I thought she looked okay in general. But I think Suri did a lot of the work as well.
Okay.
This was basically your produce show main event. You know, the ones that normally go time limit draw. This one wasn't a time limit draw, but they worked it with like a lot of comedy, light work. It wasn't just like a lot of work rate, I think is what I'd say. I mean, Suri looked awesome still, like as awesome as she always does.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd say just Shida's strikes basically stood out to me, but not really, like she wasn't really like moving super fast or anything like that. I don't know what her status is with her visa and stuff.
Don't know either.
But yeah, it was just a bucket list match for Sunoka.
Okay, yeah. I mean, when it comes to like AW, she can't go there right now anyway because it's Rio's time right now, and it can only be one at any time. So
yeah, exactly. Only one Japanese woman at a time.
Yeah. I think my other questions you answered earlier. Everything about like Ozaki and Saori Anou going on, and Ozaki also like forced Okada to apologize to her, I think, something like that.
Yeah, she wanted Okada to apologize, and then she slapped him around the face and beat him up a bit, and then later on they all reform Sekigun, and they're against
Hate
before. On 19th of October. Yeah, so yeah, the Okada thing was at the start of the show, and then they ended the show with Hate invading and setting up that match and reforming Sekigun.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Cool.
So yeah, Saori Anou is back with Mayumi Izaki in Oz Academy as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the only other thing about the main event, I guess, is there was a lot of emotional words said to Tsunoka Kato, who's retiring. Suri, I wish I had the transcript to know what she said, but everyone was crying. And Itsuki Aoki was backstage crying. That was on social media. So yeah, there was some nice words said, but we don't know what.
All right. We're going to find out at some point, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
Right, so first up, we wanted to introduce you. Eric wanted to introduce you.
This is our podcast, Tim.
Yeah.
We wanted to introduce you to Marvelous.
Marvelous, exactly.
Marvelous is my favorite promotion, guys. So what I like about Marvelous, so it's got good wrestling, good promos, and the wrestlers are very lovable. And it's also got Suri, So Takumi Iroha is the ace and the double champion. She's also the tag champion with Suri. Then the team's called Spark Rush. The roster's also got Mia Momono, who is probably the most underrated wrestler in the world. She just got an honorable mention on Voices of Wrestling's under 30 for 30. So that tells you how underrated she is, when she is probably better worker than 99% of the people on the list. It's also got Senko Akatsuki, who's obviously the super rookie, which you've probably heard of. The other rookie, Sora Yame, who keeps on getting bucketed into the same super rookie tag as Senka, just because they're like classmates, but they are not the same.
Okay.
Sora Yame, sorry to some listeners, is not quite on Senka's level. Sora has basically no offense, as in like she can't really do any moves and she's not very athletic.
Okay.
What she can do is she is an awesome seller. There are times when she's in a submission move and I think she wants to quit wrestling. I don't know if she's working me, but she just looks like she doesn't want to be there in a good way.
Okay. That's awesome.
So she's for being a rookie, she's a very good seller, but she just doesn't have the athletic moves yet, but she'll get there. And then there's obviously also Magenta, who are heels now, Riko Kawahata and Maria. And finally, Chikayo Nagashima, who's obviously from Gaia from back in the day. So she's also awesome. So yeah, great roster. They're currently in a feud with Marigold. So Marvelous's main goal right now as a promotion is to push Senka. She has a lot of main events. She's challenging Takumi for the title on 19th of October in her hometown. They know Senka is hot. It's been said in some articles in ShuPro about Senka's rising star. So it's not like something they don't know. They know it and they're pushing her. They have a big show coming up in May 2026. And No, I
May?
didn't see any words about it in One or anything else. It's actually kind of huge news. They're booking Yokohama Buntai, which is the same arena that Stardom did All-Star Grand Queendom in 2024 with...
Okay.
What was
That's
it? Was
next
it
May.
Momo and... Yeah, was it Momo and Micah in the main event? I think so. In like 3 stages of hell?
Was that in Boom? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same card as Mayu and Saru. So
Right.
So yeah, and they did 2,700 for that show.
Mm-hmm.
And Noah have done a show there in 2024 with Kiyomiya and Gabe Kidd that did 1,800, and the All Japan 2024 Champions Carnival Finals did 2,500. So it's not a venue run often for wrestling, but it is by far the biggest show Marvelous are going to do. The only one that I think compares is the Gaiaism show, which was with Sendai Girls at Ota City Gym, which did 1,500. And then their debut in the same venue, which did like 3,500, supposedly. I don't know if that's a real number. But yeah, this is one of Marvelous's biggest shows, so they're trying to build up Senka and other people to actually draw in that building. You can expect Surreal on that card and a bunch of freelancers, but you can see Chigusa Nagayo, who runs the company, she's got some big balls, and let's see if it pays off. And Senka is as good as everyone says, if you're wondering.
Oh yeah.
So if you want more substantive analysis of like what she's good, what she isn't good at, then keep listening to future weeks, because we'll recap some Marvelous shows, I'm sure.
And read the newsletter.
Read the newsletter. Yeah.
I got so my 2 cents on that is that I completely agree with everything you said about it, basically. Now I wanted to touch on Mio Momono a bit, about her.
Oh please, I can talk about her for hours.
Underratedness. Yeah, me too. I think, like, if when it comes to babyface performances, she is one of the greatest in the world.
I'm struggling to think if there's anyone better than her.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I saw her last year. I was at I think it was the Oz Academy show in early January, where she fought Aquino.
Yeah,
and I haven't
seen that match, but
that stayed like in my top 10 of the year for such a large time, because the atmosphere in that room, it was in Shinjuku Face. The atmosphere in that room was so incredible, and it was like something I've rarely ever like witnessed. Just because and Mio wasn't even the straight up babyface, because she was basically the invader at that point. Defeating Aquino is like more of a heel, but she was the home promotions guy in that case. So it was kind of a weird vibe where Mio Momomo did wrestle babyface, but was the outsider to the crowd. So it was like a really split atmosphere, kind of like 50-50.
Yeah.
So, but in a good way, like in an incredibly intense way, to be there amongst this crowd. So ever from this point, I thought Mio was at the top of my list for best just pure baby faces in wrestling. So yeah, I got it. I just wanted to co-sign. Just wanted to co-sign what you said, that she's incredibly underrated, should be on more people's lists, and it's kind of sad. Another thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, sorry.
No, I just wanted to talk more about Mio. I just wanted to say, some of my favorite shows this year are in Shakiba First Ring Marvelous. Mm-hmm. Her return match was awesome, and you won't see it rated high on any lists or whatever like that. The promo she cut after the match, awesome. She was teaming with Senka. Senka was so happy Mio was back. There's this moment in the post-match promo where Mio just shouts Senka, and then Senka's just like, "Hi," yes, in Japanese. Yeah. And they're like, so, and then Senka says in Japanese, "I'm so happy," and you can see she's giggling with laughter that Mio is back, and it's just there's so many feel-good moments like that in Marvelous, because they're a really close-knit roster, and Mio is at the heart of that, with Takumi obviously, but Mio is the heart of Marvelous, I feel like, and the whole crowd were on her side, because it was against Kazuna Tanaka and Mirai actually. Mm-hmm. So it was part of the Marigold feud, so they were booing. Mirai was a total asshole heel, and Mio Momono was coming back from injury, and she's just slapping Tanaka around the face, giving her a nasty stiff German suplex, no, this is my company, and yeah, she's just awesome.
Awesome.
Sorry, continue.
I got a question. Are there uploads to Wrestle Universe more regular now, or are they still like few and far between?
How you can watch Marvelous is... So Wrestle Universe is one of the best subscriptions out there to watch a lot of companies. TJPW, Noah, Sendai Girls, Marigold, Marvelous. So they upload normally 3 weeks after the show has happened. Mm-hmm. There's only been 2 shows...
Still only
3
2
that have never... Okay. Well, no, that haven't been uploaded.
Oh, okay.
So They upload everything after 3 weeks. The ones they don't upload are probably the house show of house shows one. The ones in the middle of nowhere, like Aichi or Sapporo and stuff like that. But pretty much all the Shinkiba first ring shows are uploaded after 3 weeks.
Okay. Great.
Which are the good shows. So, cool. Any other questions about Marvelous?
No, I don't think. Not for me. Right, we continue with SEAdLINNG.
SEAdLINNG. All right. So, SEAdLINNG, obviously, the promotion of, I guess, if you're familiar with them, you might remember Arisa Nakajima. So the glory days of Arisa Nakajima after retirement are gone. So they're basically in a rebuilding state. They're trying to find their next stars. So they've been giving their top title to like top freelancers. So first it was Suri after Arisa Nakajima, and then she lost to Vayne, and then Vayne lost to Makoto, which, you know, I love that match in that promo, which you can see in the newsletter. And now Makoto has handed it off to Hiroyu Matsumoto as of the last Korakuen Hall show. The way I sort of said it, and I'm not trying to be mean, I love all of these, but it's like a downgrade of a freelancer every single time. Starting from Suri and then end up with Matsumoto. So I wonder who they're going to do next. So they're just like hot potatoing that title a bit while their younger stars get it together. Who are their younger stars? There's 4 of them. One is Honori Hana. So she took a break after COVID, and then she came back very recent, maybe this year, actually, either this year or last year. Yeah. She's a good hard hitter. She had a crazy shoot headbutt match with Vayne in the title match, which I loved. You know, maybe a bit of a sicko, but it was a really good match. Like, very intense. After that match, Hannah has had like a good intensity. That's what those matches are supposed to do. Don't have a shoot headbutt match for no reason, right? If you're going to have a shoot headbutt, then it should count for something. And she's actually upped in intensity after that. So but she's quite good. Miria Koga, she feuded with Natsuko Tora in SEAdLINNG. She's okay. She's like 1 year in her career, over 1 year. And then there's 2 newer rookies. So one is Yuki Funa. So she has like a softball background, and she injured her arm in her debut in March. So she was off the shelf since her debut, but she's come back recently. And then the other rookie is Celine Mizora, who debuted against Koguma, and she has a judo background. So more combat sports, and so far so good with her, but she's only had like 3 matches. All 4 of them were in a tag match against each other on the Korakuen Hall show, and that was my match of the night. They were slapping the head out of each other and all that good stuff. So it's all about how long it will take for those stars to sort of like grow into the main event position, and that's what they're waiting for. And they don't care if they draw 200, 300 at Korakuen Hall until they do that. So, yeah, they also have Natsu Sumire. Do you remember her?
I do.
From Oedatai?
Of course.
Yeah, so I wasn't watching back then. She does like a sex gimmick now. I don't know, did she do that before? When did she start this?
I'm not sure she's always done that.
Great, okay, it's terrible. She's now a tag champion with Mio Shirai, which I'm not happy with, because they beat Itsuki Aoki and Ayame Sasamura, and Sasamura is awesome. So I'm not really into Natsu at all. But I guess I'll wait and see what they do with the tag titles. But so I'm not really into any of the champions right now, and I'm into the young stars basically. So yeah, that's SEAdLINNG.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Sumire was mainly before my time as a STARDOM fan as well. Like everything I've seen from her myself, she's always been doing that shtick. Yeah, pretty much.
It's just she also has an awful Bronco bus. I don't know what.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to spend more minutes of this podcast on that.
No, it's okay. My only other comment would be that I do like Hiroyo Matsumoto. So
she's awesome. Yeah, but just compared to Makoto, Suri, and Vayne,
I mean, that's,
maybe not in that
that's
tier.
fair, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. Ice Ribbon.
Ice Ribbon.
Did you?
All right. Yeah.
Did you tell everyone how to watch SEAdLINNG?
Oh, thank you, Tim. They have a website. They're one of the few Joshi promotions that actually has a dedicated website with a dedicated streaming service. The way it works is you either pay for pay-per-views, which you should not do because that's like £20 per show. There's only one show a month, so I guess it's not that bad if you're rich or whatever, or just a sicko. You don't have to be rich; you can just be stupid as well, like me. And they also have a streaming service, which is it's normally like 1,000 yen a month, which is like £5 a month, €5, whatever. And if you buy that, you will see the shows get uploaded after 1 month. So you'll be on a 1 month delay at all times. So you can pay €5 a month for 1 month delay, or €20 for every show, or just go on the high seas because SEAdLINNG is one of the promotions that does actually get,
All right.
There are some promotions that don't. Marvelous and Seed always do. I mean, I just buy the shows because I can't be bothered waiting, and also because I just want to support those promotions because they're awesome. So.
Right, that's the important part, I guess.
Yeah,
that's what I do as well. I don't really like seeking these promotions out on the high seas. If I really want to see
I'm also not
going
to
pay for it.
I'm also not going to yell at people for pirating them just because they're so expensive.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of money to follow these promotions, and they just don't make it more accessible. So it's sort of like, what are you expecting as the company? I guess, yeah. All right. The next promotion doesn't get pirated because no one cares about them. But they're one of my favorite promotions. That is Ice Ribbon. So to answer the question, yes, business isn't great, okay? But you're not going to hear many business takes from me about these companies because they're not going to change their business overnight. We all know what's going on. Yes, they do 300 at Korakuen Hall. They're not going to suddenly pop 1,000 at Korakuen Hall outside of that like Mayu Iwatani Tsukasa Fujimoto match in 2024, which now I think is just because Mayu wanted to get it done before Fujimoto's retirement. But that show did 1,000. But aside from freak accidents like that, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. There's nothing that's really going to change the ship, I think. The product is really good. I like the dojo shows. They're just an easy 40-minute watch on YouTube. You do need to pay £9 a month on YouTube. But there's not been like a single dojo episode I've gone away from and be like, that was a waste of time. Especially if I like read the promos while watching it. Super fun shows, family-friendly show. The whole vibe of the promotion, like literally the whole slogan is Happy Ice Ribbon. They're just like a good vibes promotion, okay? If you're like looking to chill out. I sort of see them as like the TJPW of the indie scene in a way, I guess. But they have a sicko as their champion, that is Minami Katsu. And the way I describe her is she's like a Timo Suri. She loves her headbutts. She loves her forearms. She's not very happy, which goes against the promotion slogan. So that's the whole bit. She's never closed a show because they never let her, and she's always upset about it. So she's never said the slogan to close a show. She had an awesome program with Misa Kagura, who was in JTO. She's now a free agent. And Misa Kagura wears pink. She's very bubbly. And the whole point of that program was bringing Minami Katsu out of her shell. And now they're tag teaming. And it's just awesome. Because now Katsu, one of the things Katsu said was, you know what, I should say that I love Ice Ribbon more often. I shouldn't just, keep it within me. It's sort of like happy storylines like that. So other top workers are, oh, by the way, Minami Katsu, I'm like the only comment on her profile on Cage Match. More people need to know about her. She's very good at what she does. She's a very good wrestler. But pretty much no one knows about her. I think some people might recognize her from, she was in like JWP before they closed down in like the early 2010s. So you may know her from there if you've been a long Joshi watcher. But yeah, other top workers are Prime Link, which is the team of Ibuki Hoshi and Kaho Matsushita, and also Ancham, but she's not really signed to Ice Ribbon. The rookie that's getting focused right now is Karari Okana. She's kind of average. She's not really a super rookie. She's doing singles matches as like a trial right now, so she's going through a trial of 7 matches. The last one was Kari Yonoyama, and the next one is Umasaki, Haruka Umasaki from Diana. So just marquee singles matches to like prime the rookie, but I don't think she's like a special rookie or anything, but she's fun to watch.
Right. I love Misa Kagura.
She is awesome. So you've probably seen her on Surrealism shows, right?
Right. I think on a few other shows as well. I always love her whenever she yeah, T-Hut show, right.
Yes, yeah.
I love her whenever she pops up anywhere. So yeah, really big fan.
So it's really funny. So she's now a freelancer. literally on the 7th of September, so 2 days ago, she joined units in 2 different promotions on the same day. So in the morning, in Diana, she joined Haruka Amisaki's new unit, who's the champion. And then in the evening, she joined Phantom Limit, which is the Oz Academy stable that Sariano was in. So now that she's a free agent, she's just going to every promotion and joining all the units. And she is really good. So yeah, that's Misa Kagura.
Yeah.
To watch Ice Ribbon, they also have their own streaming service actually, and it's pretty much the exact same as SEAdLINNG. You can pay a monthly fee for 1 month delays, or buy every show, or YouTube for the dojo shows.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Misa Kagura also has like some past history with Tam Nakano.
Oh, so this I do not know about.
I think they had like some history together in back to the Idol promotion. Even I may be completely talking out of my ass. I just remember like Misa Kagura was also on the New Blood show I was at last year on December 26th, where she fought Tam Nakano, and there was like this whole story. I think Valkyrie brought it up. I read about it. I may be completely mistaken this, but I was kind of looking forward to like Tam doing more with her, but that never came to be, unfortunately. Also, like,
yeah, she's
sorry.
No, go on.
No, I that was my point about Misa.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say she's done probably her best work in Ice Ribbon with Minami Katsu as part of that title program. She had some awesome. There was like a 20. There was a 20. Have you ever heard of a title build where they do a 20-minute time limit singles match the day before the Korakuen Hall title match?
No, don't think so.
Yeah, so they went to 20 minutes at the dojo, which was awesome. It was actually a really good 20 minutes. It wasn't just like nothing. And then they had the Korakuen Hall title match the next day, and both matches were really good. So she's a good worker as well. She's not just like a character wears pink sort of wrestler. She's also a good worker.
Right. The other thing I just wanted to say about Ice Ribbon in general, I think since I've been following Joshi, I think every single year people have said that Ice Ribbon are gonna go out of business this year for sure.
It's so funny. I don't know why people say that.
Maybe it's a running gag. I don't know. It's never happened. I'm only gonna believe it once it happens. Maybe that's just something Joshi fans say as a rip or something. I don't know.
The one thing I'll say is they're the only like indie that I cover that the wrestlers have spoken about the low attendance. So like Minami Katsu has been in backstage segments saying, yeah, I really want to grow attendance at the Korakuen Hall. It doesn't feel great. Akane Fujita, who's a freelancer that wrestled there, has also said, you know, it feels kind of bad being in front of like an empty crowd. All of the other promotions don't even acknowledge it or talk about it. Some of the wrestlers in Ice Ribbon have mentioned it, but that doesn't mean they're going under. Like they're fine. I mean, yeah. And also, I guess one of the things they're known for is bringing up talent through the scene, along with Actress Girls, which we'll talk about another time. So they have a pretty good pipeline. Their new pipeline is they're affiliated with a theater group called Venus, and so they have people. So now they'll have people who want to get into like theater work, and then they also train them in the ring. I think Shimizu, who was a actress wrestler, and she was in Wave for a while. I think she's advising on that group.
Hikari?
But yeah, that's one of their. No, Aki Shimizu.
Okay.
Did I make that? I don't. Shizuku? Oh yeah, sorry, Shizuku. Aki Shizuku. Sorry, yeah, I was gonna.
Okay.
No, that's not even her. Shizuku is the Evo wrestler.
I'm out of my depth here. You can.
I got it. No, wait, I got it. It is Shimizu. I was right the first time. Okay, yeah, Hikari Shimizu.
Is it Hikari Shimizu?
Who was an actress?
Okay.
Hikari Shimizu, yes, she was in Actress Girls, and she did a long stint in Wave. She's advising on the Venus Theatre Group, which is helping the pipeline to Ice Ribbon. So they are good at bringing up youngers, even if their current rookie is kind of just okay. They've got like kids on the roster. Like they have like 11-year-olds and 14-year-olds regularly on every single show. Okay. That's just what Ice Ribbon do.
Yeah, Shimizu was part of Colors as well, right? Yes, and she had some really bad injury. Last year, I think.
She did, yeah.
And she had to retire like this year because of that. And she was always my favorite member of Colors, I guess. So I'm sad that she had to retire. But I'm really happy to hear that she's still in the business doing doing stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think she's got like a ice cream van business as well, because it was like a storyline in Actress Girls where she came back for one match like a month ago or whatever, and it was all based on her shaved ice business. So
Okay,
yeah, so she's doing a bunch of things, I guess.
that's cool.
Cool. Any other questions about Ice Ribbon?
Have you talked about how to watch it?
Yeah. So the same well, they have their own website, but it's similar business model as SEAdLINNG. Yeah, 1 month delay or buy pay-per-views, and then the dojo's on YouTube.
Right.
Cool. Last one we will do for this time is Diana. So you said you don't know much about it, and
No.
it's actually perfect timing. So they've done something very interesting recently. So the title is no longer on Risa Sera. So their ace, Haruka Umisaki, is now the champion again. She previously had a 400-plus day reign, and now she's champion again. One of the things she wants to do is defend against every single Diana roster member. And the reason she wants to do that is because the title was out of the promotion for so long, because it was with Maika Ozaki before Risa Sera. So this is the first time it's held by a Diana roster member. They've only got like 8 people on the roster. So they've introduced a new unit war. So they saw House of Torture, they saw Z-Rats, now called Gajadokro. They saw Death Riders, and they were like, give me some of that. So there's a new heel faction. They're called Invader or Innovator, and it's led by Ayako Sato, one of the best workers in the company, Debbie Kaito, who you might know from Eve, if you've ever watched Eve a few years ago, Himiko, and Kumu. Kumu is a new rookie from Taiwan, so they have like a relationship with a Taiwanese promotion, and they like basically bring over some of their stars. So they beat up the baby faces for a few weeks. Ayako Sato and Debbie are the tag team champions. So the baby faces basically got sick of the beatdowns, especially Haruka Umisaki, the champion. She was like, fuck this. She started a new group with Shanshan, who's a Taiwanese 20-year-old rookie who is awesome. Moran, who's a 16-year-old future star. She is just very good for a 16-year-old. She started like 3 years ago. So she's just going to be a good wrestler one day. Like, it's just like guaranteed. And now Misa Kagura has also joined. So that's like a star group. So a star babyface group. The champion, 2, I'm not going to say super rookies because that term is overused, but they're very good rookies, and Misa Kagura. So the interesting part is Haruka Umisaki asked Nanami, who you probably know from God's Eye,
Yes.
STARDOM? Yes. So I didn't know her from that. I've only known her from Diana. So she's 18, but she's a 6-year vet. And what she did was she basically rejected Umisaki's offer because she was like, I'm good, I'll make my own team. Which I think is a really good dynamic to have in this company where there's 2 top stars and they're not just going to like team with each other against the heels. Nanami's like, I'll go my own way to beat the heels. I think it's really good because they should be career rivals, Umisaki and Nanami. So I like that they just didn't throw the baby faces together. Nanami is really good. I don't know, maybe the last time you saw her. She's just a very good worker now.
Okay.
So Nanami asked Mizuki Kato, who's basically a big wrestler. She's very loud. You've probably seen her on Stardom New Blood shows. You might not remember her though. So Nanami is with Mizuki Kato, and she recently had a singles match with Kyoko Inoue, who's the owner of Diana. So those 3 are now a new stable. The funny thing about Kyoko is she never loses. So when they booked the singles match, I knew she wasn't going to lose. She's like 29-0 since like the pandemic or something. I don't know, whatever. Sorry, that was just an aside. But yeah, so there's 3 main factions now in Diana. You've got Umisaki, which is like the Royal Road or like the King's Road sort of style. So they're going for like that style of wrestling. That's what they want to go for. You've got the heels, which just want to cause chaos and fuck shit up. And you've got Nanami, who wants to follow the more traditional route. So she wants to keep Diana to its roots, which is why Kyoko, the owner, has joined her. So we'll see how those 3 play out. Nami's basically like, don't fucking change anything about this promotion. This isn't your promotion at Umisaki. So that's a really like nice tension to have. So look forward to Umisaki running through the roster with title defenses, and eventually she's going to make her way up to Nanami, who is on the roster, and that should be a Korakuen Hall fight. So
Awesome.
To watch them.
Okay.
Just like Ice Ribbon, just like Seed, they have their own website. You can pay monthly for a 1 month delay, or you can buy every single show. If you are a member, you do get discounts on each show. And yes, Ice Ribbon and Diana don't get pirated, so that's probably the only way to watch them.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, Nanami was like, she was named like, I think more like an honorary God's Eye member like 2 years ago or something, and she's just kind of vanished from Stardom ever since.
Yeah.
She just asked Shuri to be in the group, I guess, and Shuri said, okay, sure. That was like really early on, like right after, not right after, but that was when God's Eye only had like 3 members or something. So
she must have been 15 or 16.
Yeah, that was always like the point people made, that she was probably gonna be off of Stardom shows until she's 18, because Bushiroad didn't want to sign anyone under 18. That's also why Asusa and Tomoka are still not signed, I think. I'm not sure. I think they're waiting.
JTO, yeah.
They're waiting until Asusa turns 18, which should be this fall. So
well, Nanami's already 18. She's still with Diana. So
yeah, so that's kind of surprising that she's not been back to Stardom yet.
She is very Stardom coded. I mean, in the way she wrestles.
Yeah.
Like I could absolutely see her in Stardom.
Yeah, I think maybe she has a big Diana contract now, but I mean,
big Diana contract. Yeah. The millions.
I don't know what's going on there. Hope we're gonna see her back soon. Umisaki I always liked. So
she was in Stardom for a bit as well.
Yeah.
Like as in just doing some matches. Yeah.
She was doing some matches.
Yeah. She's very good. But the problem with Umisaki is, like, unlike other top wrestlers at their own promotion, like aces of other promotions, I still haven't ever seen her like have a holy shit match. Like, she always gets to like, oh, this is a really awesome match, or this is like really, really good. But she hasn't had a match just like, okay, this is an insane match. Mm-hmm. So she's very, very good, but just never amazing, excellent, awesome, if that makes sense.
No, that was kind of where she was at whenever I saw her in Stardom. Or
yeah, it seems like
as well.
She hasn't developed still into that star wrestler, so I don't know if she ever will, but I guess we'll see.
I think a lot of people, let me check that real quick. She had that one match. Was it a white belt match? My internet's not loading. I feel like she's one of those wrestlers who was always a bit like.
Oh, she did with Sayaka Mitani.
Right, that was Umisaki. Yeah.
At Dream Queendom 2022.
Right, that was like a really big spot. Obviously, Dream Queendom, and like some outsider gets the match. And the match wasn't like maybe the greatest match in the world, but I thought it was totally fine. I thought it was actually, I was surprised by it. I was like positively surprised. It went above my expectations, I thought. But people were like generally just mad at the match before it even happened, because obviously like an outsider getting the big white belt match at the second or maybe biggest show of the year was a weird decision by Stardom. I do agree on that. That is a weird decision to make, especially since there was like absolutely zero chance that she was gonna win. And it kind of felt going in like just another throwaway defense for Saya. But it was the biggest show of the year, so people were mad about that. But I don't really think it's it felt to me like a lot of people hated Umisaki for it, like going on from the match, which is not fair. It's not her fault that she's getting booked on the biggest Stardom show. It's good for her. And I thought she did totally fine in the match. So I never quite understood where a lot of people's dislike for her came from, because I've always thought she was pretty good. Not like super great, but better than people act like she is, I guess.
Yeah, and I'd say that's still the case. She's very good, but she's not gonna have like a match of the year contender match.
Yeah.
Well then.
All right, that's everything I got on Diana, honestly.
Wow, we have done a wrestling omakase sized episode today.
I thought the same, yeah. Right, we're rival podcast. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right, we have maybe 1 topic, if you want to do real quick, is like a little match of the week segment.
I'll probably just list these. We don't need to go over them in detail.
You have multiple. I was just going to say real quick, maybe my match of the week was Suzu and Suri, and I've already talked about it. I don't really have much more to say other than that I'm crowning it officially my match of the week. Unless you bring something up that I forgot about. I think you mentioned DDT matches. I really liked a lot of the Peter Pan shows as well. But I think nothing really touches Suzu and Sari for me. Only Starlight Kid and Dinaba on the same show.
Yep. So obviously I really like Suri and Suzu a lot. I liked one DDT match better, but it's not from Peter Pan. I mean, because Peter Pan was more than a week ago, so I'll just ignore it for now.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah. I'll just if we're doing a match last week that maybe people haven't seen. There was a DDT show. I think it was Saturday. There's just a really awesome match with Minoru Suzuki, Shinya Aoki against Takeshi Masada and Chris Brooks. And the whole premise of the match is, so Masada is going after Suzuki's title, so he's like an outsider champion, Suzuki. And he basically Pillmanized, I guess, Masada's leg, like at the start of the show during a press conference. And then he had to face him in a tag later in the match. And it's just really awesome selling from Masada and an awesome bully performance from Suzuki and Aoki as well. So shout out to that match. But that's not Joshi. So I will mention one Joshi match, which maybe you guys haven't seen. Miyu Momono and Yurika Oka were in a singles match at Shinkiba First Ring, 31st of August on Marvelous. It was a really good match. Not like match of the year, but just really awesome, as you can expect from those two. So, and then one final one, because maybe people haven't seen it. Yeah, another match in Sendai Girls, but it was the week after the big show. So it was on the 30th of August at Shinkiba First Ring. Team 200 kg, which is Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu, against Mika Iwata and Spike Nishimura. This was an awesome tag match. This was Yu's best performance of the year so far. I've complained a lot about Yu in like my columns and stuff, that she just kind of phones it in. She was awesome in this match, just chopping the crap out of Iwata. And Spike Nishimura, who's like a US indie wrestler who recently signed with Sendai Girls, was really good in this match as well. So yeah, that's another one.
Awesome.
We did it.
We did it. I think we're through. That was a tremendous first episode. Basically,
not all of them will be this long.
Yeah, basically this was an XL variant, I guess. I mean, if they're gonna be this long, it's just what it's gonna be. But you're not gonna maybe hear as pristine editing as my other podcasts on this. No, I think it's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim. I look forward to speaking again next week.
Oh, for sure. Same time next week.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Check out the new newsletter, socialsuplex.com.